I grew every single mutation on the dragon pepper as one of my first videos where I did every single mutation. And I decided to go back a little bit and to go to the regular pepper to see if the regular pepper could be as valuable as the dragon pepper. The thing about the regular pepper are there's some secret things you can do to it and some extra mutations you can get on it to get one of the most valuable peppers in all of Roblox Grow a Garden. So watch until the end of this video to see what kind of pepper I grow and how much it's worth. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with our pepper seed. Now, before we actually start with the pepper, we are going to go ahead and use our green bean here. So to do that, this guy will give us a 5 times multiplier for the size of our fruits. But for him to work, we do need to grow a beanstalk, which we still have our 1 beanstalk seed from when we did that video. So I'm going to actually just plant that down really quick. And then over here, my main account, I'm actually just going to hit the grow all button just so we could save the time growing the beanstalk. I know it's green beanstalk doesn't take too long to grow, but we can also use a triceratops, but this will just save a little bit of time. All right, so now that we have our beanstalk in place with some beanstalks for our green bean to eat, that is done. He also makes some weird sounds. He does take 30 minutes, but we will get a 5 times fruit size bonus, and we can probably get a very, very, very big fruit. So we're going to go ahead and wait just a little bit for his cooldown to actually get a little bit lower since he does take 30 minutes. And once those 30 minutes go by, we will get the plant start to grow. So I'm going to go ahead and just wait a little bit, and we're going to see how well this guy does his job. If we don't get that big of a pepper, then we might not use the green bean as much, but we're going to attempt to use him today, and hopefully he does us some justice. And you know what, to actually speed this up, I will use a queen bee, and that will save us like at least almost 15 minutes of time, and that will make this a lot easier. Or you know what, I could also use the mimic octopus, but actually the queen bee has a shorter cooldown, so we'll just use the queen bee, save about half the time here. So our queen bee's cooldown has gone down a little bit. I also spawned in another queen bee, so whenever this one is done, we can pick this one up and get this run ready for the butterfly to convert our plant to rainbow right away. So we should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and boost this queen bee that's already been cooling down for a while, and that brings us to about 5 minutes left, which should be about enough time to go ahead and plant our pepper seed here. We're gonna go ahead and get our mooncats prepared. There we go. And then we're gonna go ahead and watering can this dragon pepper. Sorry, I keep saying dragon pepper, bro. It's just a regular pepper. It's not a dragon pepper. Maybe I'm reminiscing. I'm sorry. It's just a regular pepper today. All right, there we go. Our regular pepper is grown. Actually, the regular pepper, that grew in really fast. I did not expect that at all. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was going to take a lot longer, but okay, that was quick and easy. I kind of prepared a little earlier than I thought I was going to need, but that's good. But anyways, our queen bee in about 4 minutes will cool down our green bean, since our green bean has the longest cooldown timer right now, and that should give us a nice boost to this dragon pepper. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and get this dragon... Bro, I keep saying dragon pepper. Stop saying that, dude. It's a pepper. It's not a dragon pepper. So our queen bee will cool down our green bean. Our green bean will eat a beanstalk, and then the green bean will grow our pepper to be big. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to get this pepper plant to just chill on some mooncats to keep boosting it a little bit. So there's like 2 mooncats right here. We're going to use that for a nice little boost. And then we're going to keep moving this around. And then in just a second, I'm going to throw down all my sprinklers on it when the timer is about maybe like 20 seconds left. And then that green bean guy should really help us out get a even bigger pepper plant. So I don't know if the pepper honestly might be big enough to the point where it's bigger than this little vine that it sits on. That'd be cool. I really do hope we get a very big pepper. We need one. Oh wait, that's the sprinkler merchant. I haven't seen him in forever, dude. And we actually can use the spice sprinkler. It's actually perfect timing. I completely forgot that that's a thing. But again, let's just wait a second. But yeah, all these things combined, we should get a pretty big pepper. If we don't, I'm gonna be very disappointed. I forgot that this guy's a thing though. I thought he should sell like honey glazed sprinklers too, but I guess he stinks kind of badly. I don't know. Looks like we have one trying to grow in right there, but hopefully we get a big one. We need to get a big one, so we're gonna keep doing this, getting it some size buffs here, and then we have about 2 minutes left for that queen bee. I don't want this tiny little puny pepper on there. Can I delete this without deleting the entire plant, please? There we go. All right, mooncats, mooncats, mooncats. Where are you guys going? Hey, sleep right here. Sleep right here. All right, they're all spread out. I did not want that, but all right, I'll put it right there. That's a double mooncat right there. And we have how long on the queen bee? We have about a minute left. All right, we're gonna let this go. Okay, that should be decent enough. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Let's get our sprinklers ready before we run out of time here. So I'm gonna do my grandmaster right there. Master, I need to buy some more of those. We're gonna do a godly, advanced, basic, and a spice. There we go. That's all of our sprinklers stacked on to this pepper, and in a second our green bean should be cooled down, and hopefully we get a big pepper to grow. I really hope we get a giant one. Huh? Wait, what just happened? I guess my queen bee bugged. All right, well, I guess our queen bee was goofy goofy little guy and cool down our other queen bee's pollination ability and not the green bean, even though the green bean I thought had a larger cooldown than all of them. Awesome, dude. But that just kind of ruined my timing with everything I just did with all the sprinklers and stuff. So we have this big one growing in, but I think we could have gotten this bigger if the green bean was able to do its thing. So I guess I'll let these keep running, but I'm gonna wait then for the green bean. I'm gonna give him a boost in a second, and hopefully we get a bigger pepper than this. But I will keep this one here just in case. But that's annoying that the queen bee's like, oh, I'm gonna cool down my other queen bee friend. I didn't want that, bro. Why would you do that? Anyways, I'll keep this one here. It's a pretty big pepper anyways, but I want the green bean because we can get a 5 times multiplier. So I guess I will spawn in an extra moon cat and get some more sprinklers ready on this account since that failed. All right, so this time for real, we should be good. I gave a boost to my green bean. He only has a 2.5 minute cooldown now, and this actually bumps us up to a 6.58 times fruit bonus size, so that should help. So we're gonna go ahead, and we do still have some sprinklers here, but just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and apply a couple more sprinklers so we can make sure we maximize this. I'm gonna go ahead and do another master sprinkler, basic, advanced, godly, grandmaster, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring over here another spice sprinkler from my main account. Now for real, the green bean will actually eat a beanstalk and then apply its ability, and we should get a pretty big pepper, hopefully. I also, in the meantime, while I was waiting and AFKing a little bit, my main account, I already had my kitsune actually spawned in. I forgot about it, and it actually applied chakra to this beanstalk. So since we already have this beanstalk here, we're gonna probably be using it from now on to get some bigger fruits in these videos. I'm gonna keep this beanstalk here, and we will use a Spino and a little bit to eat that and move it over. So we are good on the chakra mutation, but we might actually get another one applied in a second because that cooldown will be done in just another minute here. Okay, there's another pepper growing. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one because that one's smaller already than that one, and I'm gonna pick up this small one in there. All right, there we go. That way we have a little bit more space for some big ones to grow in when our green bean does its stuff, does its magic in just a second here. All right, let's see it. He's gonna go eat a beanstalk now. Let's see what kind of pepper we get. Okay, he's doing something. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he just grew. Wait, hold on. That was it? Thought we were gonna get a bigger pepper than that. Oh, and we already have a rainbow pepper, but it's not as big, so I'm gonna pick that one up. So, okay. And we just got chakra again from the beanstalk. All right, well, I guess the one we already had was fine. I thought we were gonna maybe get a better one, but never mind. All right, well, we'll pick up that one. I guess we'll keep the one we had since that was kind of anticlimactic for the 30-minute wait. I thought we were gonna have a bigger pepper than that, but okay, that's fine. Thanks, green bean guy. Thanks so much for that, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my butterfly before I forget because my queen bee's cooldown is almost done. Let's go ahead and get these sprays done on here. So we can have 5 mutations. The silver doesn't count. We do have chilled on there, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the honey glazed onto that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I guess put pollinated, shocked, and chocolate, and then in total now we have 6 mutations, but again the silver doesn't count, so that's good. I'm going to unfavorite that so the butterfly can do its magic, and then I'm going to give a toy to my queen bee to speed it up. Okay, and now we have rainbow applied to our peppers. So rainbow is done. We can go ahead and pick up our queen bee, pick up our butterfly, and then let's go ahead and redo all of our sprays now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put pollinated on this. I'll wait on the chilled spray. We'll do chocolate, we'll do shocked, and then we'll do honey glazed. Get this back on there. Oh wait, oh there it is. It was bugging. All right, there you go. Now we have honey glaze back on it. Cool. All right, so that is 5 mutations, and then chakra will be 6. Let's go ahead and get our golden goose ready so we can get fortune going. And then usually we do apply fried and burnt, but since we get ceramic now, we don't even do those. We don't even need those anymore. So on our main account, we're gonna go ahead and use some other sprays on here just to buff it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and apply cloud touched and verdant to save time on those. Anyways, we have our setup here. We are good. I'm gonna go AFK for a second, so I'm just gonna let the golden goose do its thing while I AFK for a second and lay an egg, and then when I get back, we'll start focusing on all of the other mutations and get a nice little setup going here. So I'll be right back, and we'll be back when we have our fortune egg, and then we also again have chakra, so we're set there. But anyways, BRB. All right, so I actually went AFK for a little bit, and when I went AFK, it looks like our golden goose laid its egg for us, so we have fortune ready. But it looks like we also had a sandstorm while I was AFK, so we have the sandy mutation already there. And I think we had a nighttime event. Yeah, we also had a nighttime event because it did hit that 4-hour mark, so we got moonlit. So yeah, some of the stuff just happened off camera. I was AFK, not thinking that all this is going to happen. When I was AFK, I was just eating dinner real quick, and then I was going to get the other mutations done. But okay, well, that's some stuff I guess we got done then. Okay, we did get moonlit directly on our pepper, which is good, but we did not get celestial, looks like, which we did have a star crawler in there, but it looks like no celestial event. So I guess to make this easier for our Spinos, I'll just pick up these other, excuse me, by the way. I'm just gonna pick up these other moonlit beanstalks just so they're out of the way since we don't really need them. Let's go ahead though and get our other mutations going, and then we can get set up for a little bit of an AFK setup like we did last time. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in. Let's go ahead and get my pterodactyl ready here, the age 16 one, and the corrupt kid soon. And now that we have this beanstalk, we don't really need carrots, so I'll just leave these beanstalks here for them to apply mutations to. I guess I can get some extra carrots just in case. I'm also gonna go ahead and get my Raiju's ability out of the way. This guy I definitely will use a carrot for since he's pretty quick. I'm gonna go ahead and place a carrot down. I'm gonna get a shocked spray put on the carrot, and then he will eat this shocked carrot and then apply static to our pepper shortly, or one of our beanstalks. Doesn't really matter what he does as long as we get that applied to something. We can use Spinos. So those are a couple of guys done, and then I think we'll go ahead and spawn in 4 disco bees so we can try to just get disco done and out of the way. I would spawn in the jackalopes, but we already got Sandy while I was AFK, so we don't really need that. So that's 4 disco bees. We should definitely get disco done by one of those guys, and then we have one more pet slot we can use. So I think we don't need to use Tanukis since we got moonlit. Who's someone that might be a little quick for us to get their abilities done? Let's do the lemon lion here. This guy can give us the brain rot mutation, and then we can get the peach wasp out and then do that. This guy's pretty quick though. He only has a 5-minute cooldown. He is boosted, but it's pretty much like a 5-7 minute cooldown or something like that to get brain rot, and then we can get the peach wasp. That's about a 25-minute cooldown, but that's another guaranteed mutation where we get plasma. So that will get these guys out of the way to get them done a little bit faster, get the fast guys out of the way, and then we will get the guys that take a long time put out shortly, so then they can do their thing while we AFK for a bit. All right, our lemon lion is about to apply the brain rot mutation for us. That's a guaranteed one again, so this should be pretty quick and easy to get done and out of the way. Let's see what he applies it to though. He's getting a little out of range. It's scaring me. Hey, go back over there. Make sure you get it on something. There we go. Okay, we got it on the beanstalk. That works. The brain rot mutation actually looks really cool too. I love the effect of it. It looks beautiful. It's so beautiful. I can't really view it, but yeah, it's on that one. You can see the effects going. So he is good. Lemon Lion, thank you for your service. I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up, and then we're gonna swap you out with the Peach Wasp since that's our next guaranteed mutation to get plasma. And then again, we're just gonna get Spinos at the very end to just move everything over. Also, the Peach Wasp has been like, it doesn't have an animation. It kind of just glides like this in the ground. I don't know what's wrong with him. Pretty terrifying. I don't like the way that looks. It scares me, okay? We're not gonna mind that. So in the next minute here, our pterodactyl is going to apply Windstruck, and hopefully we'll get one with Tempestuous, and then our Raiju is going to eat that shocked carrot right here and apply static, so that'll be another couple of mutations done. Pterodactyl is about to do its thing here, so let's get that Tempestuous mutation, please. Wow. Surprisingly, for the first time, he did not give us Tempestuous right away, which usually never happens. Usually we get it, but that's fine. The Raiju is giving us static directly onto the pepper, so that works. So the Raiju's at least done. The pterodactyl, we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer because we did not get Tempestuous, but that is fine. I'm also gonna delete that pepper there. But we did get it directly added, the static mutation directly added to this pepper, so that is good. We're gonna wait for that pterodactyl to go down another cooldown, and then we'll get Tempestuous done. So Raiju's good. We can go ahead and pick him up, get him out of the way, and our disco bees should hopefully give us disco in the next minute. So I think now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I wanted to spawn in my gnome, but maybe I should spawn in something else with a little bit of a higher percent. I will start with the spaghetti sloth since he takes a while. We have to get aromatic, pasta, meatballs, and sauce from this guy, so we might as well spawn him in to get him started, and that will take up that extra space here. And then we will probably swap these disco bees out for some chicken zombies. Also, look at this dude. Tornado spawning in close. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they hit or not. We have this guy who should give us Tempestuous in a second. All right, so I'm gonna boost this disco bee again if these other 3 for some reason all fail. I don't think they all will fail. We should at least get one of these guys to give us disco, but if they all fail, I'll redo them, giving this guy another toy. Okay, first one failed. What about the second one? Failed. Okay, if the third one fails, I didn't think they would all fail, but if he fails too, then I'll reboost. GG. Failed. Wow, they all failed. I thought we'd at least get one of them. All right, well, GG. Hey, buddy, stop moving. Okay, there we go. Hey, give me that disco. There we go. We got disco on the beanstalk. Of course, it's the one that ran out of his toy early is the one to give it to us, but he came in clutch. We're good. Anyways, our disco bees are done. So let's go ahead and pick up all these guys here. And next up, we'll go ahead and spawn in our chicken zombies. We're going to do 4 of these guys since we did 4 of the disco bees. And then one of these guys should definitely give us zombified. They have a 26% chance. So I think boosted, they're a little bit higher than the disco bees. So we should easily get zombified done. I would hope we don't fail again. I don't think we will, but you never know with these guys. They like to do their own thing sometimes. All right. But anyways, I'll be right back for a couple minutes while we wait for these guys to finish their cooldowns, and then we'll swap some new pets out. Whoa, dude, I was checking my phone for a second, and my corrupt Kitsune just started shooting stuff out, and then it looks like my pterodactyl just did as well. I wasn't ready for all that, but oh, and the peach wasp just stung my pterodactyl again, but I didn't need that. But anyways, pterodactyl and corrupt Kitsune are done. It looks like we did get corrupt chakra done. It's not on here, but it was applied to something. I know it was applied to this egg, and then a couple of these, I believe. Some of these beanstalks. I'm gonna unfavorite this, by the way. That one has brain run disco. This one has corrupt chakra. Okay, and then one of these beanstalks got tempestuous added onto it. I don't know which one. Oh, this one, the sandy one. Okay, so that's perfect. That is 2 more mutations done, excuse me. And we can go ahead and swap those guys out now for some new pets since those mutations are done. So I think I'm going to go ahead and... Sorry, I'm readjusting in my chair. I probably sounded weird. Anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and spawn in our... I guess our Spriggan, so we can try to get Bloom done since he has a decent chance. And then I'm also going to spawn in our Gnome, since our Gnome, we can boost with the toy, and we also have all of these Gnome toys or cosmetics now in our garden. So we should be able to get Gnomic done pretty easy, and also maybe Bloom done. And that way we can get ready for our ultimate AFK setup. So once these guys do their thing, we can swap out the Peach Wasps, the Chicken Zombies, and then hopefully we get Bloom or Gnomic. So then we can swap out and get ready for our AFK grind of all those pets that take forever. Bro, I'm really slow right now. I'm sorry. I'm like doing so many things at once while I'm recording this video. I know it's very unprofessional of me. I'm so sorry, but that's also delicious and unprofessional. But anyways, we did get Meatball just now on one of our beanstalks. I just saw it right here. Here we go. Meatball done. Thank you so much, Spaghetti Sloth, for your service. So now we just need Sauce Pasta and him to give us the aromatic mutation from his shard, and that will be perfect. So we're doing good. We're getting lots of mutations done, and our Spinos will have a great time moving them all over to our big one here. In the meantime, let me just check our pets here. So our Gnome is almost done with its cooldown. We're gonna go ahead and give it a toy and see if we can get a chance at getting Gnomic done. That goes down to a minute, and okay, it's only 1.28% chance, but it does give these cosmetics a 1.28% chance as well. So again, we have 11 of them, and then that 0.28 gets multiplied 11 times as well. This guy's got like a 14% chance now or something like that. I don't know. I'm just doing some quick math, but not the best still, but there's potential. Definitely better than that 1% chance. If he does it the first try too, that will be amazing. I'll love this guy forever, but I don't know if he will. Let's see if we get Gnomic done. I'm kind of doubting it. Okay. Or Gnome, not Gnomic, but yeah, I doubted it, and my doubt was correct, I guess. Yeah, so now we have to wait for these chicken zombies. Our Peach Wasp has about 5 minutes on that plasma cooldown as well. Also, but the Peach Wasp might sting one of our chicken zombies and speed this up a little bit, or the junk bot, so we'll see what he stings. What do you got to sting, buddy? You're still kind of just sitting here doing nothing. I'll go ahead and just boost you here. Oh, there we go. That makes it go faster. Hello? Bro's going on an adventure over there. You good? All right, well, he applied plasma to the beanstalk. It looks like he's stinging a pet now. He's chasing my chicken zombie down. Okay, that boosts him by a minute. But yeah, we did get plasma done up here, so that is perfect. Another mutation is down. Another pet is good. We can go ahead and get rid of our Peach Wasp now, and then our chicken zombies. One is about to do its thing. Let's see if we get it on the first shot. If we don't, we only have a minute for the rest, so let's just take a look here. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the first one just applied zombified to beanstalk, so I kind of wasted toys on all the other ones, but you never know. Just in case, we can get all those done and pick up that one as well. All right, so more pets are done, I guess, since we have some extra slots here. Maybe we'll do the Gnome again. See if we get Gnomic done or Gnomed done or whatever it's called. Yeah, I guess I'll throw him in there, and I'll throw the Griffin in there as well just to see if we can get Cyclonic done and mix that with Tempestuous, we can get Maelstrom done. I gotta go use the little boys room, so I'm gonna go AFK while these guys try to do something. If we get Gnomed done, or if we get Oil done, or if we get Bloom done, then I think we should be good. We can swap one of these guys out, and then we'll be ready for our AFK full grind. I guess, you know what, might as well spawn in our other pets instead of just waiting. So I will get some lobsters in here, and I will get our one Tranquil Scarlet ready, and then we'll get our Corrupt Scarlet ready in just a second. But these are pretty much the AFK pets anyways, so we just got to replace one of them with the Corrupt Scarlet. I think we'll be good after that. All right, so I just got back from being AFK. We're gonna see what mutations we got while we were BRB. So first off, it looks like we did get Bloom and Molten done, which is good. But since we got that Bloom done, we can go ahead and pick up our Spriggan pet here. We also got Sauce, so we just need to get Pasta now if we didn't get that. Okay, we got Ceramic done, which is good, so we'll get that moved over shortly. Okay, Aromatics done, and we got Tempestuous earlier, so that's good. Okay, we did get Oil, so we can go ahead and pick up Junkbot as well, which is good. Then we can pick up our... Yes, we did get Pasta. Perfect. So we have Pasta, Sauce, and Meatball. We can go ahead... And we got Aromatics. We can go ahead and pick up our Spaghetti Sloth. We did get Cyclonic, so our Griffin is done with his mutation as well. But I don't see Tranquil, and I don't see Meteoric still. We did get Molten, and it looks like we did not get Gnomed. For the most part, we got a lot of progress done, but we're still missing quite a few mutations here. So I think what we should go ahead and do, though, then is we're going to wait for these lobsters to still apply Meteoric. We got to wait for this Tranquil Scarlet to apply Tranquil for us, and then we still need Gnomed. So I'm going to go ahead and give my Gnome a boost here to see if we can get it in the next go about. All right, that will drop his cooldown to 50 seconds. And then while we do that, we're going to go ahead and spawn in our Corrupt... Not this guy. Where's our Corrupt Scarlet? Here we go. We're going to spawn in our Corrupt Scarlet. So that will take up a slot. And then we're going to go ahead and spawn in 3 of our Spinosaurus. Actually, you know what? Before we spawn in the Spinos, let's go ahead and work on getting Warped and Rot done real quick, because that will speed up some progress for us as well. So let's go ahead and get some Sugar Apple Seeds here. I'm going to go ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And with that, I am going to spawn in real quick my Mandrakes. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some of these. Oh, we just got Gnome done. Perfect. Okay, that literally just worked out for us. So Gnomed was applied to one of these beanstalks. There we go. There's Gnomed. So we can actually go ahead and get our Gnome out of the way. And we got our Mandrakes. So I'm going to go ahead and water these. Let's go ahead and put an advanced sprinkler down as well to speed this up a little bit. All right, so I'm going to try to get Rot real quick, and then we're going to try to get Warped from our Apple Gazelle. So let's see if we can get Rot. And this just became frozen, but I will put some carrots down and see if we can get a Kappa to give us Bloodlet in a little bit. Let me also boost my Mandrakes to make this a little bit easier, just so I don't run out. Come on, give us that Rot mutation. There we go. We got Rot applied to a beanstalk, so we're good. Perfect. So that works for us there. So we can actually go ahead and pick up all of these Mandrakes. And then we're going to go ahead and get these sugar apples to grow in. Actually, I'm just going to use my main account to grow all these, so I'll speed this up a little bit for us. But with that, I'm going to spawn in my Apple Gazelle here. All right, main account is going to go ahead and purchase the grow all button for us. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and see now if we can get the warp mutation done. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up these sugar apples. Oh, that was quick. We got warped already. Perfect. Which one was that even on? This one right here. Okay, perfect. So we have this one warped, so I can go ahead and reclaim these other sugar apple trees. And we will have our Spino move that over. So we should be good. We're good with this Apple Gazelle pet. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. And now we just got to wait for Corrupt, Tranquil, and Meteoric, and then we'll be good. I'm going to go ahead and boost these lobsters real quick to see if we can get Meteoric done a little bit faster. And then in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my Spinosauruses here. Let's go ahead and spawn in, I guess, these mega ones because they're a little bit older in age. They can do a little bit more fruits at once. And I guess because we have these older ones, I'm going to pick up my younger one here, and I'm actually going to spawn in 2 Kappas to attempt to get Bloodlet while we AFK a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in some carrot seeds. And that way, I guess I can spawn like 1 here and 1 here. And that way I can try to get Bloodlet while I'm AFK. I don't know if we'll get it, but that will help at least try and get us Bloodlet so we can get another mutation done. But other than that, we just need to get Corrupt, Tranquil, and then Meteoric from these lobsters. And then these Spinos, in the meantime, we'll be moving over every single mutation that we have on all of our other plants, mostly on our beanstalks, then on our golden egg, and then also our warped sugar apple. And they should be moving all that over to our dragon pepper. Real quick, let's see if this other lobster gives us Meteoric. And if it doesn't, we're just going to go AFK from there, but we'll see. Oh, look at that. We got Meteoric done and applied to pepper. That actually really worked out perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up both of these lobsters, and we can go ahead and put the other 2 Spinosauruses down that we have. It looks like we have a pretty good setup, so now we can just AFK, and when we get back, we should have a pepper here with pretty much every single mutation on it, and hopefully we'll get Bloodlet done as well. So we'll be back. It's time to AFK for like another hour or 2. All right, it looks like our pepper is ready to be checked out and check out the value of it. We got all the mutations moved over from the Spinos within about an hour, and we got the rest of the mutations that we needed, including Tranquil and Corrupt. And as you can see here, our pepper has all of these mutations on it, and we actually finally got Bloodlet this time. It seems if we just let the Kappas kind of chill for a little bit and have a bunch of plants to work with, they'll eventually get a carrot or something Bloodlet. So we'll make sure that we keep doing that from now on so we can get Bloodlet and get that extra mutation. Now, the ones that we are currently missing from the vanilla game and without any admin help would be Aurora, Eclipsed, Acidic, and Celestial. I have not gotten a Celestial event in a while. I mean, whenever I play this game, I haven't seen one. I probably just haven't been on at the right times, but they seem to be even more rare lately. But if we were to wait probably like another day of just AFKing, we could probably get these last 4, but I don't know if it's worth waiting that long for just another 4 mutations. And I guess the final one also that we need is Amber, which we should have a much better chance to get because our friend helped us and traded us to give us all these raptors. So shout out again one more time to another guy, 156, for giving me all these raptors. I only had 2 of them, but now we have 6 more from him. We have an army of 8 raptors, which is perfect to increase our Amber chances. Oh, look at this, dude. The raptors actually make us insanely fast. But anyways, if we take a look at our mutations here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 mutations on it. And if we split some of these up like spaghetti, we'd have 32. Maelstrom, we'd have about 34. Gloom, we would have 35. Paradisal, we'd have about 36. Frozen, 37. Ceramic would be about 39. And Harmonized Chakra would bring us to about 40. So this is the first time we've had about 40 mutations applied to our pepper, and we'd be going up to about 41 if we get Amber, which I'm going to go ahead and boost a bunch of these raptors here to hopefully give us a better chance at getting the Amber mutation today. So I think we should be able to get it pretty easy, and without further ado, let's go ahead and pick up our pepper.
Nope.
Okay, surprisingly, we did not get Amber. I'm actually really shocked because we have so many raptors spawned in, and with all these adding up, we probably are at least over 20% now, but I guess that's still not 100%, but that's fine. At least we have a better chance to get it now in the future. So here is our pepper with all the mutations in all of its glory. We're going to go ahead and check the value of this thing with Steven and see how much this pepper is worth. So Steven, what are we looking at today, man? All right, so this pepper is worth 102 billion, which isn't the best, but the pepper isn't one of the best fruits in the game. So honestly, I will take 102 billion for a pepper. And the other thing is we could have definitely gotten this thing bigger and probably would have boosted it up into the 200 or 300 billion mark, maybe even more than that. I don't know why our green bean didn't really give us a good enough boost for the one that grew in, but that is fine. This pepper still looks awesome. We still have a ton of mutations on it, and this was a fun one to do. I really like the pepper in the game. It makes me reminisce back to the first video of the dragon pepper. So thank you guys for recommending this one. It's been a lot of fun. All right, so we're gonna get this cursed fruit set up. We're gonna go ahead and start by getting some sprinklers ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and place the master sprinkler, godly sprinkler, advanced, and basic, just like we always do. And then we're going to go ahead and place our cursed fruit right underneath that. And we're also going to start spamming out some mooncats to then get our cursed fruit to be massive today. All right, let's see. That's all 8 mooncats. We're good there. And the sprinklers are bugging out. They're not spraying. It looks like they're still watering it because it's making progress. We have 5,000 watering cans. So let's get this thing fully grown. And just like that, we are now at a fully grown cursed fruit, and the mooncats are starting to nap. So hopefully these cursed fruits grow in pretty massive. The cursed fruit is growing in, and it looks to be pretty massive. There's a space right here, a gap in the middle of it, which I think that could be a bug. Mooncats got us a pretty large cursed fruit. I don't really know the largest size of the cursed fruit. I've never really grown cursed fruits besides one time, so I don't know the maximum size we can get the fruit. This looks to be pretty large, and it seems to be growing pretty quick, so I think the watering cans did work. It's just a little laggy because Roblox be dying right now. All right, well, I can't tell if this is gonna take a while to fully grow. It's very laggy right now. I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is spend some Robux here and get this thing to fully grow. All right, we got the main account. Let's see if the main account can actually grow this cursed fruit for us. I'm gonna go ahead and pay the Robux over there, and let's see it. Yeah, I think it worked. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pick up all of our mooncats, and let's move on to the mutations. We gotta get 5 mutations so the butterfly can take those 5 mutations and turn this thing into rainbow. So we'll go ahead and add our shock onto there, which the shock cursed fruit, look at this. That looks incredibly awesome. We're going to put the chocolate spray mutation on it and the pollinated. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use the honey sprinkler to get this thing honey glazed. And then we will finish off with the polar bears. And these polar bears should get this thing chilled, and that'll be our 5 mutations, so we can get this thing turned into rainbow. Polar bears, don't let me down today. We gotta make this cursed fruit have all the mutations on it. We gotta make sure this thing is spicy and expensive by the end of this. You guys hear me? All right, they're all failing again. Please, please, one of you get chilled. Oh, let's go. Let's go. One of them got chilled. I think it was this guy. Zeffy, you're the goat, man. All right, we can now pick up all of our polar bears because we now have the 5 mutations that the butterfly will need. So let's go ahead and first off put our queen bee down. And then we'll get the butterfly put down. And the queen bee, again, has a 6-minute shorter cooldown than the butterfly. So it will cool down the butterfly, and then the butterfly will add the rainbow mutation from all of the current mutations we have. All right, so we've actually been getting some crazy events while we're waiting for our queen bee to cool down. So we got moonlit and windstruck, but all this is about to go away because the butterfly has got to do its magic to get this thing rainbow. So the queen bee is cooling down. Now the butterfly should be in action, and let's get this cursed fruit to rainbow. And there we go. Our cursed fruit is now rainbow, looking nice. All right, so what we're gonna go ahead and do now is we're gonna go ahead and put some sea turtles down so we can try to get the wet mutation on our cursed fruit. So we have about 3 sea turtles we can use to do that. And then we're also going to stack some polar bears as well to get chilled / frozen, because once we get the wet mutation, it'll turn into frozen. And let's go ahead and also add those mutations back on there that we had. So we're gonna add chocolate, shocked, pollinated, and then let's get a honey sprinkler. And just like that, we are back up to 5 mutations. All right, the first chilled has failed. The second chilled has failed. Come on, one of you guys get chilled. Sea turtles, you guys do your thing. Okay, all the chilleds have failed, but maybe the sea turtles will do their mutations, please. All right, do your flips. Boom. Oh, look at that. First try. Sea turtle applied mutation wet to cursed fruit. So now this thing is wet, and now we can go ahead and pick up these sea turtles and max out on the polar bears. All right, some of the polar bears are in action, but more are failing. Oh, there we go. Polar bear applied mutation chilled to cursed fruit. This cursed fruit is officially frozen, and now we're up to 6 mutations. And with that, we can go ahead and get rid of all these polar bears, and then we can go ahead and add in a bunch of pets that we need to get some more mutations. So what we're going to go ahead and do is the usual, where we add in 2 of our disco bees. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 of these little guys. We'll spawn in 2 cooked owls that we have. We'll spawn in 2 of our scarlets to apply the verdant mutation. And finally, we'll start off with 2 of these chicken zombies to hopefully get zombified onto this thing. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some alt accounts in here so we can take up this plot right here or this one. So we're in the middle, so we're a little bit closer because all the events spawn in back here over by the gear shop. And being in the middle definitely helps our chances with these event mutations. So I'll be right back. Oh, okay, it looks like our cooked owl just applied the burnt mutation onto our cursed fruit. We always get the burnt one. We never get the cooked. The cooked is a hard one to get, but burnt is still good. It's still added on there for an extra mutation. So that means we can go ahead and pick up our cooked owls now, and then we can increase our other pets. I'm gonna go ahead and use another chicken zombie then, and we're gonna go ahead and spawn in another disco bee to up those chances because the scarlet bird should be able to get this cursed fruit verdant pretty easily. All right, Brighter is here, ready to queue up the events. And usually the space event is the one that gets queued up first. So I'm going to just see if I move my cursed fruit over here. Yep, there it is. I don't know how the space event actually affects. I don't know if it's just a passive mutation or if your fruits have to be hit by these engines. I have not gotten galactic yet. So what I'm going to do is I guess I'll line it up with one of these and see if it helps at all. Kind of don't think it matters. I think it's just a passive one that you may or may not get. We're starting with space travel, and then we also have night, so we can get moonlit on this thing. And also in the background, we're still waiting for these pets to cool down so we can get disco, zombified, and verdant. Oh, there we go. A fruit in your garden mutated to moonlit. So the night event was successful. All right, let's see. Galactic engines are going, and did that do anything? Did that give us galactic? No. Yeah, so this one's definitely just passive, and it's, again, only a small chance for the fruit to turn galactic. It looks like the galactic events failed, and there's no galactic either, so we're just not doing very good today. hopefully these aliens end up liking my cursed fruit. I did try to make it nice and pretty for them, and hopefully they mutate it, because I need that alien-like mutation. That'd be really nice. Oh, Disco Bee applied Disco Mutation to cursed fruit. Thank you, Disco Bee. Handshake, Disco Bee. And that is another one we can mark off the list. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these Disco Bees. Let's go ahead and spawn in another Scarlet to hopefully get Verdant a little bit faster. And we will also spawn in some more chicken zombies to hopefully get zombified on this thing. All right, well, it looks like none of these aliens like my cursed fruit, which is very unfortunate because now I'm probably gonna start crying any minute here. And the alien invasion is gone, and we did not get alien-like or galactic, so we're not off to the best start, but we have the Jandel Heavenly event, so maybe we can finally get Heavenly for once in our life. Wait, he's down here. Hey, what are you doing down here? You good? Can I jump on you? Oh, I can! Let me whisper in your ear. Hey, buddy, I need that Heavenly event, please. Please give me that Heavenly mutation. Please just give me that Heavenly mutation, man. I really need that Heavenly mutation. Oh. Jandel? He's gone! He got obliterated by a volcano. Well, did we get Heavenly? No. Alright, I don't even care about him getting obliterated by a volcano now. Bring your mutations over here. Oh, this one's in, this one's in, this one's in, this one's in. It's not in. It's in the middle of the map. Oh, that was like right here that literally touched it. I want to put this at the end just so I have a better chance. Come on. Come on, please, 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 please. Yes, that's in. That's in. We got it. Whew. That was stressful. And we are down to some meteors. Now, hopefully these hit. I think for this one, I definitely am going to travel this guy back into the middle of my garden here, like right here at least. I'm going to get this ready to move. Get this thing ready to move and pop! Oh, and actually, okay, we're good. We're good. All right, I need one of these Scarlets to hopefully give us the Verdant mutation. 2 of them are about to cool down. 1 of them has a minute and a half. Let's get Verdant on this, guys. Come on, do your thing. Let's get it. Failed. Okay, next Scarlet, please. Please, Verdant mutation. Let's go, dude. Scarlet applied Verdant to cursed fruit. We are now up to Verdant. We can now get Paradisal and Sun-Dried added on. Perfect, perfect. Let's go ahead and pick up these Scarlets now, and we're gonna go ahead and max out on the chicken zombies, and then we're gonna bring in our Queen Bees just to help them with their cooldowns. We got Meteoric as well, which is awesome. Hopefully we can get Void Touch, because Void Touch we never seem to get, and it's... There it is. I thought it was bugging out. Maybe if I just use my trowel, I can put this like right here in the corner of my lot, and then reach that vine all the way out, and then maybe this is close enough now to touch the black hole and give us Void Touch. No, it just really doesn't like me at all, actually. All right, well, next up is Celestial. Okay, well, this one shouldn't be too hard. This one, we can wait for one of the star crawlers to start pulling, and then we can just drop this right onto the one it's about to land on. Oh, move it. Whew. We made it. I think we made it. We get it? Okay, good. That worked. We got Celestial. That's the little thing you could do. You trowel your plant right on top of a star crawler if you need it to get Celestial. All right, that gives us another mutation down. We're now up to 13 mutations on our cursed fruit. The wind is here. We have Gale, which is a very high wind struck chance. So for some reason, every time I move my fruits towards the end of my plot, like all the way over here, it seems to always get wind struck so much faster. I don't know why. I might just be tripping, but let's see if it happens again. And it also could just be because the Gale helps it get wind struck faster. Oh, there we go. Literally, like I was just saying, dude. I don't know why. Every time I move my fruit over here, it's wind struck nearly instantly. All right, we're in tornado season now. The tornadoes are here to hopefully give us the twisted mutation. This one's a little easier to get now that the tornadoes actually spawn around the map and move a lot better. Maybe we'll have some more spawn in close like this guy. Yes. All right, put this right here. Come on in. Oh, he's going this way? No. Come here. Come here. Oh, he doesn't know what to do. He's not making his mind up. Okay. Oh, another one spawned right on top of it. All right, put it on this one. Come on, there's no way we don't get twisted from this. They're like literally right here on it. There's no way we don't. I'm just gonna keep maximizing my chances. Tornado is staying in our property. He's staying in our garden. It's gone. Did we get twisted from that? Let's go. We got twisted. All right, the tornadoes are gone, and it's heat wave, and literally instantly as that spawned in, we got one of the heat wave sunbeams to strike, which just gave us the Paradisal mutation, and it striked again, which also should give us the sun-dried mutation, and there we go. 16 mutations on our cursed fruit. Okay, so I was literally just waiting for Brighter to join in and add the rest of the mutations onto our cursed fruit, and while I was waiting, one of the chicken zombies just went crazy and got us zombified. So we're actually up to 17 mutations on the cursed fruit. So now we don't have to have him add zombified on here. So now all we have to do is have him add galactic, alien-like, plasma, heavenly, bloodlit, void touched, verdant. I know we had verdant already, but we're gonna have him add it back on because before we had it, it just converted to paradisal. And we're also gonna have him add on dawnbound just for the heck of it and gold for the heck of it. So that way we can technically have every mutation on this cursed fruit. All right, so Brighter is here. He's going to add those mutations that we just said. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our big cursed fruit here. All right, so there we go. Brighter is now going to add on the mutations that we listed just a second ago onto this thing so it can have literally every mutation in the game on this cursed fruit. All right, and just like that, we now have every mutation on our cursed fruit. So we're gonna go ahead and see what the value of this thing is when we talk to Steven. Moment of truth. 15 billion shekels, this cursed fruit with every mutation on it in the game. Again, there are issues with all of the mutations being added onto fruit. So if this value does seem a little bit low, it's probably just a bug. That is the cursed fruit getting every mutation on. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on this. Let's go ahead and get our sprinklers ready, just like we always do. We got the master sprinkler, the advanced, basic, and godly, and then we're gonna go ahead and place this down inside of all those. We're gonna spawn in our mooncat so we can hopefully get a pretty big ember lily. And there we go. So our ember lily's only at 0%. Oh, it's at 1% now. It's speeding up. So I am gonna use some watering cans for this to try and help and get this thing growing fast. Let me know in the comments down below what you think the value of this thing will be once we get every single mutation on it. And then if you want, you could edit your comment at the end of the video and see if you are close. All right, our ember lily is growing. It's actually growing a lot faster than I thought it would, so that's good for us. The other thing is too, we have windy going on right now, which would be perfect if this thing was already grown and already had rainbow on it. All right, there we go. Our ember lily is grown. Now the plant itself is looking pretty small, but we could still get a pretty big flower at the top, and I hope we do. I really hope we do. All right, so we're just gonna give it a little bit to grow, and we'll see what kind of ember lily we get. We'll see what the size of it is. We have all these mooncats, and a bunch of them just napped right next to it, plus all the sprinklers. I think we're gonna have a good-sized ember lily, and it's growing. I think that's a pretty good size. We'll see if it expands anymore. Oh, it's growing upwards. Okay, so that might be our size then. That might be it. Actually, you know what? This one doesn't look that big. I am gonna go ahead and delete it, and then let's see if we can get a bigger one. I really want this to be a big ember lily. All right, so I'm gonna see if this one grows into be a decent size. It might be still pretty small, but it does look like this one's gold again. I wish gold would actually matter for this. I wish it would count as one of the 5 mutations that we need to get rainbow, but since it doesn't, we do have all of our sprays in line, and we will be using those in just a second. This might be as big as it's going to get because our mooncats be struggling today. All right, this thing has progressed pretty nicely. It looks a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, so I think we got a pretty good-sized ember lily. Now, to save some time, I'm bringing out the big guns, and we're going to be hitting the grow all button. Sometimes we got to use bow bucks to get some good end results, and if you want to help support these videos so I can spend more bow bucks, you can always check out the Bandites merch. You could buy it in my Roblox group. The links are in the description, and you can look as handsome as I do. All right, but I'm bringing the main account me over here to grow all so we can get that ember lily looking nice, okay? And there we go. Our ember lily is grown. We saved a little bit of time. This is still not as big as I was hoping it would be, but it's a pretty decent size overall. Now we're gonna go ahead and pick up our mooncats. I really wish this ember lily was bigger than this, but I guess this is the size we're gonna go with. I think this is decent, but all right, we're gonna go ahead and use all of our spray mutations here. So let's do a chocolate spray on this thing. We're gonna save the cloud touch. We'll do pollinated. We'll do shocked, and we'll save the amber one. So we'll do 1 chilled, and that is 5 mutations, but gold does not count towards getting rainbow. So instead, we're going to use a honey sprinkler to get this honey glazed. And there we go. Now we have the 5 mutations that'll actually count. So we go ahead and spawn in our queen bee and a butterfly. Now, some people were asking me in the comments if the queen bee only cools down the butterfly, and no, the queen bee just cools down whatever pet has the longest cooldown currently. So since we only spawn in these two, the longest cooldown is always going to be the butterfly, so it saves us about 7 or 8 minutes in the end, so we can get this thing rainbow a little bit faster. And again, the butterfly does need 5 mutations, and gold does not count. So these are the 5 we have: shock, chocolate, honey glaze, pollinated, chilled, and that will convert those into rainbow. But anyways, now we gotta wait for these guys to do their thing, get this thing rainbow, so we can't really do much until then. So I'll see you guys in literally like 2 seconds when this is about to be rainbow. All right, it's time for the stuff to happen. The queen bee is going to cool down our butterfly, and our butterfly is now going to get this thing rainbow, and we say bye-bye to the gold mutation that we have. And just like that, our Ember Lily loses all these, but we get rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these guys up now, and then we're gonna go ahead and reapply all of our spray mutations. So we got pollinated, we got shocked. We also have amber, which people did tell me if you wait like 24 plus hours, you can get old amber. And then there's another variant of amber, but we don't have that kind of time. But I am gonna spray amber on there. We have chocolate, and then we have chilled, and then we're also going to go ahead and put honey glazed on as well. And just like that, we're already up to 7 mutations on this thing. So we're going to convert that chilled to frozen by using a sea turtle. So there's our sea turtle. You good, bro? He's stuck inside the fence. I hope he's okay. And then we're also going to try to get all the pet mutations. So I'm going to spawn in a scarlet to get verdant. We're going to spawn in 2 chicken zombies to hopefully get this thing zombified. And we'll also spawn in 2 cooked owls. And finally, we'll spawn in 2 disco bees. So now we'll have a chance to get zombified, burnt, or cooked. Disco will get chilled to frozen once the sea turtle turns it wet. And then we can also get verdant on this, which would be good. So once we get a heat wave event, we can get paradisal on this Ember Lily. So far, we got a pretty good setup here. Now we just got to wait for these pets to do some stuff to give us these good mutations. And we got to wait for some events to happen. Hopefully, we'll get a windy event to spawn in again. And then hopefully we can get twisted, tropical rain, all that good stuff. You know what? I completely forgot one of our sprays. I forgot to put the cloud touch spray on this. There we go. So now we're actually up to 8 mutations. All right, our sea turtle just applied the wet mutation to our Ember Lily, so now it is officially frozen. We can go ahead and pick up our sea turtle, and I guess we'll go ahead and put another scarlet down so we can have double the chance to get verdant. So let's see what we get next. All right, hopefully this scarlet gives us the verdant mutation so we can get verdant before we get a heat wave. That way we can get paradisal, and I don't know if you can stack sun-dried with paradisal anymore. You used to be able to, but after this last update, I've noticed that you can't. All right, Scarlet, don't let me down. Let's get that verdant mutation done. Oh, let's go. He didn't let me down. I was like instant. All right, so now we have verdant. So we're set for a heat wave event. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up these scarlets. And then I guess because the chicken zombie usually takes the longest and the cooked owl, I'll go ahead and spawn in another cooked owl and another chicken zombie. And hopefully we get disco next. The disco bees are almost done with their cooldowns, and so are our original cooked owls. All right, let's see our luck with the cooked owls. Will we get burnt or cooked? We've never gotten cooked before, so that'd be cool to see. First cooked owl failed. What about the second one? All right, so just like that, we got zombified. Usually we get zombified last out of all of our pets, but this time we actually got it before we got disco or cooked / burnt. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies here. I am gonna go ahead and spawn in 1 more cooked owl so we can have 4, and then we're gonna spawn in 2 extra disco bees so we can have 4 disco bees, and that will conclude all of the pet mutations. And then we just have to wait for some weather or any events to spawn in. But so far this thing is looking good with all of the pet mutations on it and some of the extra ones that we got from the sprays. Disco bees going. Failed. What about the other disco bee? All right, other disco bees going. And apply. There we go. Disco mutation is now done. So we just need to get these cooked owls to give us either cooked or burnt, and then we just gotta wait for events to happen. So I'm gonna pick up all of our disco bees since they're good. We're gonna max out on the cooked owls, which we only have 5 of them. And then I guess to help, we'll spawn in 2 queen bees to hopefully cool these guys down. Or maybe we'll stick with 1 queen bee, because if we have 2, it might cool down the other queen bee, since these cooked owls, their cooldown isn't that long. Oh, perfect. We got a windy event. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my sprinklers ready to hopefully help with this. We're going to put a master sprinkler down. We're going to put a godly sprinkler down, and we're going to put an advanced sprinkler down. The basic doesn't really help with mutations, and hopefully that'll help us get Windstruck. Come on. Oh, we just missed our chance. All right, our cooked owl finally applied the burnt mutation to our Ember Lily, which means we are officially done getting every pet mutation that we possibly can get. I guess besides Windstruck, since technically you can get that from the Pterodactyl. But anyways, this Ember Lily is looking pretty good. We just need to get some event mutations on this. So hopefully we can get Windy, Heat Wave, maybe some Tropical Rain, maybe some Aurora. Ooh, it's nighttime. This is good. We can get Moonlit, and we do have a Night Staff here. So hopefully we can get it to just channel us some Moonlit mutation real fast, real quick, real nice. There we go. We got Moonlit. Your Night Staff helped mutate a fruit. Thank you, Night Staff. Okay, I got excited for a second because I thought this was Tropical Rain, but it's regular rain, and we already have Frozen. However, if we had Sandy, I believe this would still help that Sandy turn into clay, and then we could get it ceramic. But because we don't have Sandy, this is kind of a pointless event to have. All right, we have another windy event, and we just got Windstruck like literally instantly from this one. So I guess it only takes like 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 windy events to get Windstruck. But so far this thing total has 14 mutations on it. I'm hoping we can get a couple more on this. All right, so we literally have 14 mutations on our Ember Lily, and we have been sitting here AFK for 3 hours, and literally the only event that has happened is Windy and Moonlit. Like, our event luck today is horrendous. So we're gonna go ahead and check the value of the Ember Lily with all the mutations that we currently have on it. I wanted to get more of the event mutations, but the event mutations are really difficult right now without Brighter's help, and hopefully we can get blessed by Brighter again soon. But for now, we're gonna move forward and check the value of this with Steven. So without further ado, I will pick up this Ember Lily, and here is our beautiful Ember Lily with all of the mutations that we got on it, all 14. I wish we could have got this bigger. I wish we could have gotten more mutations, but we are going to see what the value of this is with the mutations that we did get. So without further ado, I'm going to talk to Steven here, and let's see how much this thing is worth. So Steven, what would you give us for this? 23 billion, and this thing again only has 14 mutations on it. That is a lot of money for this that doesn't have all of the normal mutations we get, like all of the admin mutations. So what do you guys think? Was this worth it for those 14 mutations? What do you think the value would have been if we actually got every single mutation today, including the admin mutations? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spawn in some Mooncats here. So we got 8 Mooncats that we can spawn in, so we can start getting progress on getting a big, beautiful maple apple tree. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and place all of our sprinklers down here. So we're gonna get a master, godly, advanced, and basic, and then we're gonna put our maple apple right in there. And look at that, it's all rainbowy up here, so it looks like we might have a pretty big tree. To save some time, we're gonna go ahead and hit that grow all button on my main account. And oh, look at this, we got a sandstorm, so we might as well hurry up and do this. All right, we're in, and there we go. We have some maple apples. Now, these don't look very big. This one looks decent, but some of these don't look as big as I thought we might be able to get this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up these, and I guess we'll give it a look and see how they regrow. But I'm going to go ahead and put some more sprinklers down, and we're going to try to get this thing to grow a little bit better. We want these Mooncats to hopefully affect this as much as possible. We want to get a big maple apple. Now, we do have a pretty decent sized one here, but I think we could do better than that. I think we could definitely get a bigger one to show up. All right, we have a lot of Mooncats right here. I think what I'll do is I'll trowel this into the sleeping Mooncats if they all pile in a certain area. Let me move that into that circle. All right, yeah, they're kind of all piling around in different spots. They're not like just in one area. Okay, let me try right here in between these two, or actually maybe even right here because there's a few of them right here. All right, and hopefully that helps. All right, I'm gonna hit the grow all button again just to see if anything changes, see if we get any big ones. So let's just YOLO it. Let's see what we get. Okay, that's better. That's definitely better. That's this one is pretty big. All right, so we can go ahead and pick up these other ones then. Yeah, look at this. We thought this was gonna be decent. I think this one's a lot better. Dude, what is going on? We're getting all these events, but we're not ready yet. We still got to get this thing rainbow. All right, we're gonna pick up all of our Mooncats. We're gonna try and go through this quick. So let's go ahead and get our sprays done. Actually, let's go ahead and get that queen bee ready to get the cooldowns ready. Let's get the butterfly ready to get that cooldown ready, and then let's get these sprays done on our maple apple. So we're gonna go ahead and put pollinated on this. We're gonna put chocolate on that. We're gonna put a cloud touched, shocked, and then we will do honey glazed with the honey sprinkler. And there we go. That will be our 5 mutations. All right, so I was stupid and accidentally picked up my queen bee, so I've been sitting here waiting for my butterfly. But to speed this up, I guess, a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and give my butterfly this toy, which will speed up the cooldown, and now our butterfly will give us rainbow. So it's like the same thing, but yeah, you won't notice any difference here, but yeah, I had to wait a little bit longer because I'm stupid and dumb. All right, so just like that, our maple apple is now rainbow. So we can go ahead and pick up that butterfly. We're good. We have this mutation done. All right, so now we can go ahead and apply our sprays to this thing again. So we're going to put our chocolate back on it. Pollinated, shocked, cloud touch. We're going to go ahead and put our honey sprinkler back down to get honey glaze back onto it. And then on our main account, we're going to apply amber onto it. I did that from over there. I got snipes, I guess. But now amber's back onto it. Now, my main account has some chilled sprays we're going to use, but we're going to wait on that because we're going to try to get this thing to get ceramic first. So to do that, we need wet and then sandy to get clay, and then we'll need to get sun-dried to turn that into ceramic. So we're going to wait a little bit, and we're going to not apply the chill just yet. We're going to do frozen after we get ceramic. So now we're going to start focusing on the rest and applying some more with our pets. So I have some disco bees here. Now, I know people are going to be like, Bandites, you can just use the new disco spray. Well, there's no spray merchant, and I don't have the disco spray, okay? So I'm going to be using disco bees to hopefully get us disco mutation on our maple apple. And then I'm going to be using the cooked owls, same thing here, to hopefully get burnt or cooked since I don't have those sprays as well. We're going to go ahead and use some chicken zombies, and then we're going to spawn in one scarlet. Actually, we're going to hold off on the scarlet for now and not get verdant on this just yet because we're going to try to get ceramic first, and if we have verdant, that sun-dried will just convert to paradisal. So we're going to wait on this guy, but we are going to spawn in 2 sea turtles so we can get this maple apple the wet mutation, and after we get the wet mutation, that should help us get this turned to clay, and then yeah, we could go through that getting ceramic. Our luck today is a little bit better than it's been the last few videos. We have another aurora happening, so hopefully we can get the aurora mutation on our maple apple. Oh, look at that. Just like that, the sea turtle already applied wet to our maple apple, so that's quick and easy. We can go ahead and pick up these guys then, and I guess we'll spawn in another disco bee and another, I guess we'll do another chicken zombie for the time being. Oh, I just saw something happen. Did we get it? Oh, let's go. We got aurora. All right, this is actually going a lot better today than it has been. I think the update of increasing the events really helped. So we are up to 9 mutations on our maple apple, including aurora, which is awesome. We're going to wait for these pet mutations to hopefully take effect. We got our disco bees and our cooked owls that will be applying some mutations soon. All right, our disco bees always seem to be the first pet to apply their mutations, but anyways, let me go ahead and unfavorite this real quick. But as you can see, we now have the disco mutation on our maple apple. So it's starting to look pretty good. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is pick up these disco bees carefully without picking anything else up, as I've done in the past, as we all know now. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another cooked owl or 2. Let's see. I guess I'll do another cooked owl. And I will spawn in another chicken zombie. So hopefully we can get these 2 mutations done. And then we just really got to get verdant after that, but we're going to wait for verdant just for a little bit. We want to wait until we get this thing, hopefully ceramic first, and then we'll focus on paradisal. All right, so we have some of our cooked owls here that are about to finish their cooldowns, which is good. And with that, we also have a Zen event about to start. Oh, well, they're targeting the big one, but they're failing. What about the other one? Targeted the big one, but fail. Okay, that's very sad. Our chicken zombies are almost cooled down as well. At least 2 of them are almost done. And then we have another one that'll be done in a few minutes. And we're gonna see the Zen Aura event happen in a second, which will help us get Tranquil on our maple apple here, which will be another mutation added on. All right, so we got our first little Tranquil beam coming over here. Let's see which one it hits first. All right, there we go. Our big one is mutated to Tranquil, so that's a really easy one to get, and that's just some extra multiplier for us to work with. Oh, let's go. Thank you, cooked owls. You guys, I love you so much. You're so nice to me today. All right, well, there we go. Now we have burnt on our big maple apple here, so we're stacking up some good mutations. I'm going to go ahead and pick up these cooked owls now then. Get these guys out of the way. We have another chicken zombie almost ready, so hopefully he does what the cooked owls did in target. I'm going to spawn in another chicken zombie, and we'll spawn in a mimic octopus to mimic those guys to give us even more opportunities. All right, we have a windy event, which I was hoping for, and I'm going to go ahead and travel our plant, I guess, over here, because for some reason, these corners over here always help get wind struck on our plants faster. Okay, the event ended. Let's see if we got any windstruck added. Oh, we did. Dude, I don't know why this corner is blessed right here. If you need windstruck, move your plants like right here. It seems to always work to get us windstruck. All right. I forgot that they re-added frost into the game, which if we get chilled, which because our plant is already wet, we might get it frozen, which we don't want right now, which is going to be very unfortunate. We have wet, and I probably should have waited. I completely forgot that they re-added frost. The only reason I added wet was in case a sandstorm came by, we could have gotten sandy, which would have made this turn instantly to clay. But I didn't count the fact that if a frost storm comes by, we can get frozen. We don't want frozen yet because once we get frozen, we pretty much, I don't think, can get ceramic. Actually, you know what? We probably can. I think if we get sandy, we could apply wet again. So this actually isn't the end of the world. It would just get us frozen earlier, which we didn't really want yet. All right, well, yeah, we now have frozen on our maple apple. Honestly, that is fine. We'll just keep frozen on there. Either way, we can still get ceramic, I believe. We just have to wait for a sandstorm now, and once this is sandy, we can add wet to it to get clay. Okay, it looks like one of our chicken zombies just applied Zombify to our maple apple. Yep, there it is. We are good, which means we pretty much have every pet mutation done. We still gotta wait for Twisted, which is technically a pet mutation now, I guess. But that will get this thing to Tempestuous. And then once we have that, we also need to get Verdant, which is also a spray or a pet mutation. All right, so I have literally been in a Discord call with one of my friends for like 6 hours talking, waiting for more mutations to get applied. We did end up getting Moonlit to this, but we had a sandstorm twice and did not get Sandy. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just apply Scarlet to this maple apple so we can get Verdant on it. So I'm going to spawn in 3 Scarlets and a Mimic Octopus just so we can make sure we get that Verdant mutation, and that will turn Sun-Dried into Paradisal. So there we go. We have all these pets set, and some of them actually have some of our buffs still added onto them. And while they focus on getting that Sun-Dried to turn into Paradisal, over here on my main account, shout out to my friend Cole or Azook. He actually is letting me borrow his Kitsune for this video so I can try to get Chakra and Foxfire Chakra on my maple apple. And if I can get those two, that should be some extra good mutation buffs. So I have a Queen Bee spawned in my main account garden in there, and I'm going to go ahead and use that Queen Bee with the Kitsune to see if I can get both Foxfire and regular Chakra on my plant. So apparently the Kitsune actually applies it to your plant, and then it steals it and gives it to your other account. So I should be able to get 2 of these maple apples with all these mutations on it, and it should be pretty good overall. Okay, well, it looks like we're about to finally wrap things up here, and we finally got Sandy applied to our maple apple after literally hours and multiple sandstorm events. So we technically could get this up to ceramic now, but I don't know if I really want to wait around for another heat wave event to happen, because I have been at this for like 8 hours today trying to get this one to be good for you guys. So I think we're just going to keep Sandy. That way we have that mutation on there, and then if we can get Foxfire Chakra and regular Chakra, that should make up for that ceramic mutation, and at least we still have Sandy on it. All right, my main account's Kitsune is coming over here to attack our maple apple. Okay, and it says Kitsune applied Chakra, so it looks like my main account is getting one of these, and let's just go ahead and check. Yeah, there we go. Now we have Chakra on this. We did not get Foxfire Chakra, but we do have the regular Chakra on this, and in total we do have 18 mutations on our maple apple. We could turn this Sandy into ceramic. We could have turned this Windstruck into Tempestuous, and we could also get Foxfire Chakra and Celestial. So there's a few things that we could have combined for better mutation chances, and it would have really helped us in the end to get a little bit more money value out of this. But overall, I think this is a pretty good maple apple, and I'm very happy with it with how many mutations we actually got today. Let's go ahead though and pick up our maple apple and check the value. All right, so here it is. Here's our big maple apple with all of these mutations on it. It looks insane with all the electricity and everything on it. I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it as well, just so I don't accidentally ever sell it. And we're gonna check with Steven. So Steven, what is the value of our maple apple with all 18 of these mutations on it? This maple apple is worth 197 billion, and I can only imagine that this would have been past 400 billion or so if we were actually got Celestial, Foxfire, Chakra, and a couple of those other mutations mixed together. With those admin mutations, I think this would have been very, very good. But for that many mutations on it, that is still pretty good. I do wish our maple apple was a little bit bigger, but overall, I'm very happy with that price. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you think that this is worth the value or if it should be worth more. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start off with all of our moon cats like we normally do. Let's go ahead and get all 8 of these guys spawned in to start meowing and giving us big buff to Tranquil Bloom. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get our sprinklers ready here. So let's go ahead and put a master sprinkler down, godly, advanced, and basic, and we'll go ahead and put our Tranquil Bloom down right here, and there we go. We're all set up. All right, so a bunch of people in the comments have been yelling at me to start using a Triceratops with the Mooncat so I can get better growth and stuff for my plants. So fine, dude, I'll do it. Okay, I have a couple of them in my inventory here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up one of our Mooncats. I'll pick up this guy who's all the way over here, not even making an effort. Mr. Samster, you're gone, buddy. All right, and then we're gonna place our Triceratops down, and our Triceratops every 3 minutes run into 3 random plants and advance their growth by 33 minutes. All right, so our Tranquil Bloom's only at 6%. Let's see our Triceratops. Let's see how much it advances the growth. Hopefully it just makes us get 100% right away. I think it might. I think it should be that quick. Let's see. Triceratops, go ahead and ram that Tranquil Bloom for us. Thank you. Bah! That only got us another 50%, but we wait for him to do it again, then this thing will be done. I mean, that was already half of it. All right, Triceratops is about to smack this again. This should, I think, grow it to full. Let's see. No, it's only at 82%. I think I'm just gonna wait for a minute here and let him finish up. So we'll come back in just a second and see what kind of fruits we can get. Okay, so I literally just got back from AFK, and I see something going on here. Oh my gosh, dude. Look how gigantic our Tranquil Blooms are. I think we're going to use this one for today and try to get every mutation on this big guy here. So I'm going to go ahead and put our sprays on it. So let's do, it already has Tranquil on it. So we'll go ahead and add Pollinated to it, and then we'll add Chocolate to it. And Shock, that should be 4 mutations. And then we'll do Honey Glazed, and that should be 5. Go ahead and add that here. That should be 5 mutations. And we're going to go ahead and spawn in our Queen Bee to get its cooldown recharged. We're going to spawn in our Butterfly. And that way we can get this big Tranquil Bloom here to Rainbow. The Queen Bee will cool down our Butterfly, and the Butterfly will take all 5 mutations currently on this big Tranquil Bloom and convert that to Rainbow. On our main account over here, we are also going to spawn a Queen Bee to start a cooldown process here with our Kitsune, so that way we can get Chakra instantly added to our big Tranquil Bloom as soon as it's done with getting Rainbow. So let's wait for this thing to turn Rainbow. I'm going to get these other ones out of the way for now so we can actually see what we're working with, and then that way our Kitsune over here will only target the big Tranquil Bloom. So I will be right back. All right, in less than a minute, our Queen Bee will cool down our Butterfly and convert all of these mutations to Rainbow. And with that, I did clean up the other big Tranquil Bloom, so we're down to just this big one here. Oh, and look at that. Perfect timing. We just got Frost to spawn in. Okay, Queen Bee is done. Butterfly is going in. And our big Tranquil Bloom is now Rainbow. So now we can go ahead and pick up our Queen Bee and our Butterfly, and then we're going to go ahead and favorite this big guy so we don't accidentally pick him up. And with that, we're going to add some sprays onto him. We're going to pollinate it. We're going to put Chocolate on it. We're going to put Shocked on it. And then we're going to put our Honey Glazed Sprinkler on it. All right. And then over here on our main account, we're going to have our main account apply the Cloud Touch spray on it. And my main account doesn't have any more amber sprays at the moment, so we're not going to do that for right now. But the Kitsune is also coming over here to steal our big Tranquil Bloom. He just walked through it. Okay, yeah, he took the big one. There he goes. We now have 7 mutations on our Tranquil Bloom, including Chakra from the Kitsune. I'm going to go ahead and favorite this again. And we're going to go ahead and try and get our Kappas here to add Wet and then get Bloodlet on this before we get this thing to turn Frozen. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to spawn in 2 Kappas. That's 1. That's 2. And then we're going to spawn in 2 Disco Bees for now. So I guess we'll do 1 Cooked Owl for now, and then we'll do 1 Chicken Zombie as well. We're going to spawn in a Pterodactyl to try and get Windstruck, but also hopefully get us Twisted so we can get Tempestuous out of the way. And then finally, let's go ahead for now and spawn in a Corrupted Kitsune So this guy can give us the corrupted chakra mutation on this big guy here. And then maybe also give us corrupted foxfire chakra. And we have a sandstorm. Now we just had one sandstorm go by. So hopefully this one's a little bit more lucky. I guess what I'll go ahead and do then is travel this over here. Because this is the lucky corner. That's literally almost going into my main account's garden, by the way. This is about to touch my main account. All right, but we'll see if this helps to get Sandy at all. Wait a second. Is this the spray merchant? No way. The spray merchant's here. All right, I'm going to buy some of these just so I can make sure I have them. I wish the spray merchant sold the amber mutation, but he doesn't. Did we get Sandy at all? No, we did not get Sandy. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, because we have these kappas that will give us the wet mutation, to save a little bit of time, though, I'm going to go ahead and keep that favorited, but I'm going to spray it with wet, just so that way this thing is already wet. And, oh, and it's nighttime. But that way this thing will be wet, and then these kappas can hopefully just convert that to bloodlet a little bit faster. I'm glad it's nighttime. This actually helps. I can save some time with the Tanukis later, so I don't have to wait for them to get this thing moonlit. This should hopefully get us moonlit pretty quickly. Normally, we get it pretty fast. I don't have any night staffs, though, is the only problem. But I guess we don't need it, because look at that. We just got moonlit. The events tonight are actually going crazy. We're getting everything that we need. Wow, are we getting lucky? All right, so now we have a meteor shower. We'll hopefully be able to get Celestial added onto this. We do have our Starcrawler pretty close to this, so that should affect it. Let me see. So our cooked owl is about to do something. Let's see if we get burnt. Okay, that failed. That's fine. We'll just wait for the next round of that. Our pterodactyl is about to apply. Oh, did that just give us Celestial? I think so. It just flickered. Let's see. Yep, we got Celestial. Perfect. We're doing good today. We're getting lucky with these events. It's like the first time we're getting this many events. All right, let's see what he does. Okay, he's doing something. Oh, wait. Okay, he applied Windstruck and twisted to Tranquil Bloom. Let's see if it's the correct one, though. Tempestuous. Let's go, dude. He did it to the right one. All right, so our luck today is actually really good. I think last video our luck was really bad, and now it's just like the game likes us. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this pterodactyl here, and he is good. We don't need that guy anymore. All right, I guess for now, since we have that extra spot, I will spawn in another chicken zombie to hopefully get zombified out of the way. Ah, perfect. Applied. All right, so that's another mutation done. We can go ahead and pick up our disco bees. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do now is actually spawn in my scarlet macaws here to get verdant. We did just buy some verdant sprays on my main account, but I'm going to save them for now because these guys should be able to give us verdant. And we do have a tranquil scarlet and a corrupted scarlet. So we should be able to get verdant, tranquil, and corrupted. If we don't get tranquil or corrupted, we'll at least get one of them in the event within the next 20 minutes should be the next one. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a quick check here. So we are now up to 12 mutations on our Tranquil Bloom. Tempestuous technically is like 2 mutations, so I guess we'd be up to 13. All right, a bunch of our pets are about to finish their cooldowns, including our corrupted kitsune, both of our scarlet birds, and our chicken zombie here is almost done, and our cooked owl. So we might have a lot of mutations get applied, or we might have a lot of fails. I guess we'll wait and see. All right, so I think these guys are first going to do their verdant attempts. Let's see if we get verdant, so we don't have to use that spray. That would be nice. We could save it. Okay, verdant is applied. I don't know if that was the right one. Burnt failed, and corrupt chakra was just applied, but that was not foxfire corrupt chakra, but we still got that applied. So let me just go ahead and double check here. Okay, yeah, so we got verdant, then we got corrupt chakra and regular chakra, so now we have harmonized chakra. And yeah, verdant actually went pretty quick. The other day it was taking forever, so that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply shocked to this little guy here, and I'm going to let my Raju here spawn in, and then he should target this, eat it, and then eventually apply static to our big tranquil bloom. All right, our cooked owl just applied the burnt mutation to our tranquil bloom here. So we now have burnt added onto there. I'm going to make sure I keep this favorited, though, because I don't want our Raju over here to eat our big tranquil bloom. Raju is about to add static to our big tranquil bloom. It's about to eat it. And last time I thought it ran my pockets, but it actually gives you money. And it actually did give me money. Okay, I didn't know that because last time I was saying that it ran my pockets and then ate my fruit. But no, it actually gives you money and then it just eats one of your fruits. So you guys in the comments are right. I'm sorry that I'm stupid and dumb and stupid. Our tranquil bloom here now has static applied to it and burnt from those 2 mutations from our cooked owl and from our Rajus. Tranquility. All right. Well, I guess with that, Cappy here becomes completely useless because this is about to mutate this big guy into Tranquil. All right, that should be in. Yep, there we go. Our big guy is now Tranquil. So I can actually go ahead and just get rid of Cappy because we already have Verdant and Tranquil. So now this guy's useless. But our corrupted one here, Molly, maybe, just maybe, will give us corrupted so we don't have to wait another hour for that event to come by. Okay, so a heat wave just spawned in and our tanning mirror just got smacked by a heat wave beam, which means that our tranquil bloom is now actually paradisal, which just upgraded our verdant, and now we have a better multiplier. All right, our chicken zombies officially applied zombified to our tranquil bloom finally. So we have zombified out of the way. So we can go ahead and pick up all of our chicken zombies here. And now it's pretty much just down to these two. Either our Scarlet will give us corrupted or we'll just wait for the event to happen within the next 40 minutes. And our Kappas just need to get us bloodlet. And then besides that, we just really need a sandstorm and Aurora. But this thing is looking good. It should be pretty expensive. I'm hoping for over $1 trillion today for this thing. We should make some good money, I would think. I mean, look at the size of this, dude. All right, it is the hour mark, which means we now have a corrupted event. It does go back and forth, so now it's corrupted. Earlier it was tranquil, but I don't know if we got bloodlet at all, so I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite this and see. And no, but our wet turned into drench, so I don't know if these guys can actually give us bloodlet if it's drenched instead of wet. I mean, drench is pretty much the same thing as wet. It's just like a little bit of a better version of wet, but I don't know if they will affect that and give us bloodlet anymore. At the same time though, overall, we're still doing pretty good. I mean, this thing has 18 mutations on it. And again, if you separate some of these, like Tempestuous would be up to 19, Paradisal would be up to 20, and then Harmonized Chakra would be up to 21. So yeah, we have quite a lot of mutations on this thing. I do really want to get bloodlet, but I don't know if we can anymore because we don't have wet. We only have drench. All right, well, we've been at this for a few hours, and these Kappas have been placed as the first pet today, and have been sitting here for hours, and we still don't have bloodlet, not even on these fruits over here that are wet. So I think at this rate, because we've been waiting and there's still no bloodlet, and I don't even know if they can get drenched to bloodlet, we're gonna go ahead and apply the chilled mutation to this for my main account. So now this thing can be frozen instead of drenched, and now we are up to 18 mutations still, but if you separate everything, it would be up to 22 total mutations. So pretty much all we'd really need at this rate, besides bloodlet, we didn't get that. We would just need Aurora, and then we'd need Sandy, so we could turn Sandy into ceramic. And then we'd pretty much have all of the legit mutations. Now, the one that we also are technically missing is Amber, but we have a shot at trying to get Amber whenever we pick this thing up because we have our Raptors here. So we are going to pick this thing up and check the value with Steven, and hopefully our Raptors actually help us out and possibly give us Amber. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this big tranquil bloom, and we're going to check the value with Steven. All right, let's check it. And it's really hard to tell if it has amber. It doesn't look like the outer ice is the amber color, and I think it probably would have notified us if it was amber. I mean, this thing is huge, dude. I think we're not going to have any issues with pricing for today. I think this thing is going to definitely be worth. Let's go ahead and without further ado, check the value with Steven and see how much our tranquil bloom is worth. So Steven, what are we looking at? I'm hyped for this one. Only 163 billion actually for this giant tranquil bloom with all of these mutations on it. I feel like this one should have been worth a lot more from how big the sizing was on it. I feel like the price for this thing is a little nerfed, and it probably needs a little bit of a buff for it being in the top 3 values of fruits in this game. But I think they are trying to crack down and nerf some of the values of fruits on this game because some of them are very expensive and they grow huge. Because of that, you can see like my main account, I've had some really big fruits and I'm over 1 quadrillion on it. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below if you think this was worth all the effort put into it for the value. All right, first things first is we're going to spawn in 7 of our mooncats here. All right, and then next up we're going to spawn in one of our triceratopses. This guy is an age 9 compared to my other 2 that are age 8, so he's a little bit ahead of the other 2, so I'm going to go ahead and spawn him in. And then we're going to go ahead and place our sprinklers here. So I'm going to go ahead and place our Grandmaster Sprinkler, a Master Sprinkler, Godly, Advanced, and Basic, and then I'm going to go ahead and slap down a Sugar Glaze Seed right in that mix. And this should help it get pretty big, plus all of our mooncats. Now, what we can also do is drag this thing over into a bunch of mooncats to hopefully get the original Sugar Glaze to be pretty big. So let me see, can I move this? All right, I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. And we're just going to let these Mooncats mix in their abilities onto it. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I guess, you know what, since this is growing pretty quick, I can use some more watering cans on it. And then once our Triceratops here is done with this cooldown, I can just go ahead and smack this sugar glaze, and we can get the first set of donuts done and see how big they turn out. Let's try to travel this right in between these guys. We need to get as big of a sugar glaze as we possibly can. Look, the cat's actually sleeping in the tree. What? All right, I'll put it in this one just to get more bonus points possibly from our Mooncats, and then we're going to put it right back in our sprinklers here. All right, then finally, a couple more watering cans, and this thing should be done growing. I wish I could drag the Mooncats over here. I know a lot of people were telling me to get the pancake so I can have them all focus on a section. I actually did not get the pancake unlocked. I just had the pancake mole. But yeah, that'll be one of the things I focus on unlocking next, so we can always have our Mooncats target one area for our plants. All right, our Triceratops is... Oh my... All right, well, it looks like we got a pretty big donut growing in. It looks like everyone's doing their job. Let's see what the Triceratops does to help. All right, kaboom. That was it. That was 33 minutes of growth. All right, so our sugar glaze is done growing. Why is it green? I thought it was going to be like a chocolate one, but I guess we got someone's like boogers. All right, well, we're good here with our Triceratopses, so we're going to go ahead and use some sprays here so we can get 5 mutations applied to our sugar glaze and then get a butterfly to turn that into rainbow for us. So we're going to go ahead and use one of these honey glaze sprays. We're going to use a pollinated, a chocolate, a shocked, and then we're just going to use a wet just to get another one out of the way. And there we go. We have 5 mutations on our sugar glaze here. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and trowel this so it's facing this way. This is the one time a chocolate spray makes something look a little bit better, a little bit more appetizing. All right, but anyways, I'm going to favorite this real quick just so I don't accidentally pick that up. And then we're going to go ahead and spawn in 1 queen bee here and a butterfly. So that way our queen bee will cool down our butterfly and convert this thing to rainbow. I'll take all those 5 mutations and convert it to rainbow. And then over here, my main account, I'm going to spawn in a queen bee as well. And then we're going to spawn in my kitsune. So that way, by the time this butterfly over here converts this to rainbow, then our kitsune over here will be ready, and then we can apply chakra or foxfire chakra to our sugar glaze. But for now, I do need to unfavorite this so the butterfly can actually convert these mutations, and we gotta wait about like 17 more minutes. Yeah, so I'll be right back. All right, so our queen bee's about done with her cooldown, and she's about to cool down our butterfly, and hopefully our butterfly can take these and apply rainbow quick, because for some reason my queen bee's timer on my main account bugged, and it is now lined up with this account. So it's about to cool down our kitsune over here as soon as this happens. So queen bee, cool down butterfly. Butterfly is now cooled down. Let's get rainbow quick before the kitsune comes. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. All right, we're good. We got it just in time. Our sugar glaze is now rainbow. The kitsune is stealing it. And now we have rainbow and chakra done. All right, I'm going to get out of his way. It's very bright and in my eyes. I can't see anything. All right, so since this is good, we're going to go ahead and favorite this just so we don't touch it. And we're going to go and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly. And then let's go ahead and apply some sprays to this thing. So we're going to reapply that shocked onto there. We're going to apply pollinated. We're going to apply fried, honey glazed, burnt, and chocolate. And then over here on my main account, we're going to apply cloud touch, we're going to apply verdant, and we're also going to apply wet, so that way our kappas have an easier time to apply bloodlet to our big sugar glaze here. All right, so that brings us up to 11 mutations on our sugar glaze, so it's looking pretty good here. So first thing I think I'm going to go ahead and do is plant a carrot seed, and we're going to put the shocked spray on our carrot seed here. All right, there we go. Our carrot is now shocked, so then I can go ahead and spawn in our Raiju, which will give us a mutation done right off the bat. It will eat this shocked carrot and apply static to our sugar glaze right away, so we can get that mutation done and out of the way. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees as well, so we can work on getting the disco mutation added. We're going to spawn in our tranquil scarlet and our corrupted scarlet. Even though we already have verdant done, since they have tranquil and corrupt, we can get tranquil and corrupt mutations on our big sugar glaze here. All right, so that brings us to 5 pets here. Looks pretty good so far. I am going to go ahead and spawn in my chicken zombies next, just so we can get zombified done and out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in a kappa here, so our kappa can attempt to get this sugar glaze bloodlet. And that's good. We have all of our pets ready to go, and now we just have to wait for all of their cooldowns to go by. Okay, our Raiju just charged that carrot and ate it so fast I wasn't even ready for a second there, but he did apply the static mutation onto our sugar glaze here, so that is another mutation done and out of the way. All right, so what I think I'm gonna go ahead and do next is I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in this corrupted Kitsune so we can start working on getting a corrupt chakra or corrupt foxfire chakra and add that on to our sugar glaze. All right, and then we're also gonna wait around here because our disco bees are about done with their cooldowns, and hopefully we'll get disco applied right away. Usually they're pretty good about getting us disco. Let's see it. All right, one's going off. All right, easy. That first disco bee there instantly gave us the disco mutation. So we're getting some good mutations done. All right, so since that is good and out of the way, let's see. I think I'm going to spawn in another Kappa to assist getting this thing to turn bloodlit. And then I guess, let me see what else I have in here. We don't really need our cooked owls today because we did get burnt on it already and fried. All right, I guess really the only other pet we need at the moment will be the pterodactyls. So I'm going to spawn one in here, and then I think what I'll do is whenever our pterodactyl here is about to be done with his cooldown, we're just going to grow a bunch of carrots back here like last second, so that way he can try to apply tempestuous to one of these. So in case he doesn't get tempestuous on the first try on our sugar glaze, all hope won't be lost. We can get it on a carrot and then just use a Spinosaurus to move it over. All right, let's go. One of our chicken zombies just applied the zombified mutation onto our sugar glaze, so that's another mutation done. We move these chicken zombies out of the way. They've done their job. All right, so next up is our pterodactyl. His cooldown is about done, so I'm going to quickly place a couple of these carrot seeds down just to see if we can stack up and maybe get tempestuous on one of these. All right, so let's see if our pterodactyl gives us tempestuous. It'd be nice if he could just give it to us directly on the sugar glaze, but if not, we'll use a Spinosaurus to move over mutations later onto this. All right, let's see it. He went all carrot mode. He didn't even go for the sugar glaze, but one of them did get tempestuous right here. So let me go ahead and favorite this real quick, and then I'm going to pick up the rest of these. All right, there we go. So tempestuous is on this carrot, which means our pterodactyl did do his job. So I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. He is good to go. And I guess we'll go ahead and unfavorite the carrot, and then we're going to put down a Spinosaurus. So this guy will be able to eat the carrot and then move it over to our sugar glaze. Okay, so I knew something felt like it was missing. Like I didn't do one of our pets that we normally do by now. And you know what? There is something missing, which is our spaghetti sloth. We got to get this guy to spawn in so it can give us sauce, pasta, and meatballs so we can get the spaghetti mutation added onto our sugar glaze. I don't know how good a spaghetti sugar glazed donut would taste, but our spaghetti sloth sure thinks it would be good. All right, so we have quite a bit of stuff about to happen. So first off, our Spinosaurus here is going to eat from our carrot, and hopefully it'll just move tempestuous over right away. Let's see. Let's see which mutation it eats. Okay, well, it ate wet, which we didn't need, so good thing we have our other Spinosaurus as backup for right now. So we're just going to wait for that to happen. And then also, hopefully, our corrupt scarlet here will apply the corrupt mutation to our sugar glaze. But it is nighttime now, so we should be able to get moonlit, and hopefully after we'll get a celestial event so we can get celestial added to our sugar glaze. But anyways, there we go. That Spinosaurus has officially added tempestuous over to our sugar glaze, so we can go ahead and pick up our Spinosauruses for now, since we don't really need them to move anything else over. I'm gonna pick up that carrot, and then we just gotta wait for these guys to apply their mutations to our sugar glaze here. So let's see. Hopefully the corrupt scarlet does corrupt. Come on, please get it done. It failed. Okay, well, we're not going to get that one done yet, I guess. But we are going to get moonlit done. So there we go. We now have moonlit added to our sugar glaze here and tempestuous. So that's another 2 mutations done and out of the way. All right, corrupted kitsune, please give us your mutation. Please. There we go. Corrupted Kitsune applied corrupt chakra to sugar glaze. So he is done and out of the way. And now we have harmonized chakra added onto this thing. All right, our spaghetti sloth is doing something. Let's see what mutation he adds to our sugar glaze first. He's pretty much a guaranteed pet to give us mutations. So let's see what the first one we get is. All right, we have sauce added to our sugar glaze now. So that is good to see. And once he applies his other 2, we'll have the full spaghetti mutation done. All right, our spaghetti sloth is heading over to hopefully apply the next mutation that we need. Hopefully it's not the same one. All right, there we go. So we got meatball added to sugar glaze. So now we have sauce and meatball on our sugar glaze here. As you can see, here's sauce, here's meatball. So once he adds pasta, those will all turn into spaghetti. Oh, wow. For the first time, I think, in one of these videos, we're actually getting an Aurora event. I mean, I guess we used to get events like this all the time, and I think we had the Aurora before when Brighter would do all the admin events. it's ending. Well, no Aurora mutation. I guess I'll try all this back. Okay, well, I literally just got back from being AFK, and I just came back to the spaghetti slot applying pasta to our sugar glaze here. So let's go ahead and take a look if anything else happened. All right, so yeah, now we have spaghetti because we had all 3 of the spaghetti sloth mutations applied. It still looks like we did not get corrupt while I was AFK, so we still have to wait for corrupt to be applied, and we still have to wait for bloodlet to get applied. But our spaghetti sloth is at least done. All right, so finally we got another mutation done. Our Scarlet finally applied the corrupt mutation onto our sugar glaze. We can go ahead and pick him up. And now we have corrupt added onto here and tranquil. So we have those 2 done. It's pretty much only up to our kappas now to try and get bloodlet. I always spawn these guys in first, and then they literally struggle the entire time to convert wet to bloodlet. But hopefully they do that, and then once they get this thing bloodlet, or hopefully get it bloodlet, we'll then apply wet again and then convert wet over to frozen. All right, well, big rip. We've been waiting for our kappas to give us bloodlet for like 2 or 3 hours now, and they haven't. And then we got a frost event, so this thing is frozen and we can't get bloodlet now. All right, well, we didn't get bloodlet today, but we did get frozen. I wanted to get frozen and bloodlet though, but you know, sometimes you can never win at these things. And then yeah, it's also been hours and we haven't had any other events happen. We have our raptor spawned in, so we're gonna try to pick up our sugar glaze and get amber applied. But in total, we do have 19 mutations, and if you spread some of these out like tempestuous, we would have 20. Spaghetti, we would have 22. And harmonized chocolate would bring us to 24 mutations. So if we get amber, that'll be 25. Without further ado, let's go ahead and pick this thing up. Oh, look at that. We actually did get amber. So yeah, this thing technically has 20 mutations on it, or 25. It, for some reason, shrunk in size when I picked it up. Sometimes the big plants do that. The donut, maybe just for holding purposes, it did that. But hopefully it didn't actually break the size of it, and then it's going to break the value. I don't know, but we'll give it a shot. So thanks to our raptors for helping us out. All right, well, without further ado, I'm going to check the value of this thing with Steven. Hopefully it's still good. I don't know if the size actually went down or if it's just a visual bug like it used to be, but we're going to go ahead and check with Steven and see how much our sugar glazed donut is worth. So Steven, what would you give me for this thing today? Okay, yeah, I think the size stayed the same because this is worth 209 billion, which is actually really good for missing some of the mutations like paradisal and also ceramic. If we did get all of the admin mutations on this thing, I think it would have been close to 1 trillion or even passing 1 trillion, and we could have even gotten it bigger. But yeah, this is actually a pretty good price for the sugar glazed donut, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, if this is a good price to you guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 of these mooncats here that I have. All right, we have 7 mooncats. There's also new like pet loadout slots, so if I want, I could have like 1 for mooncats, 1 for my queen bee and butterfly. Since I tend to swap out pets a lot, it's easier for me to just keep doing it the way I normally do it, so that's how we're gonna do it today. All right, but anyways, now that we have all of these guys spawned in, we're gonna spawn in one of our triceratopses here, and now we're gonna go ahead and place our sprinklers down. So let's put our Grandmaster sprinkler, Master, Godly, Advanced, Basic, and we'll put our King Cabbage right in there. All right, our mooncats are on it, which is good. The sprinklers are doing stuff. So while we wait for this to grow, I must let you guys know, I actually have a new channel that I started with a team called Bandites Movies. Now, this channel will include some old content mixed into long form videos of over an hour long, and I'll also have some new videos on there that you guys may have not seen before. So if you guys want to check that channel out, the link will be in the description, or you could just search up Bandites Movies and you should find it. We already have some videos uploaded on there. All right, so here is our King Cabbage growing in. It looks pretty big. I don't know if this is going to be a multi-harvest. Let me make sure this is a multi-harvest fruit or not. Okay, this is a multi-harvest fruit. So whatever we get here, this will just be the plant, and then we get the fruits on it, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and watering can it a little bit so we can get this thing to sprout up a little bit. So then our Triceratops here doesn't have to work as hard, and then he can focus more on just growing the fruits themselves. But looks like we're gonna have a pretty big one because look at all of our mooncats just surrounding this thing. This thing is definitely going to be huge. So let's see how much progress our Triceratops actually makes on our King Cabbage. So it's at 21%. Let's see what he gets it to. Okay, we got a double. So now it is up to... It's still going. It's still going. 88%. Okay, that was actually pretty good. Thanks, my guy. Oh, dude, we got a heat wave right now. I wish this was a little bit later when this thing actually had some fruits grown on it, but I guess this will be 1 free mutation done, so we don't have to use as many mutations when trying to get it to rainbow. All right, to help speed this up a little bit, I'm going to use my main account here to use its watering cans to get our king cabbage to fully grow in. So let's just get this thing to 100%. Whoa, it's moving. It's moving. That is scary. It's moving. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and use one of these medium pet toys on our Triceratops to speed up his cooldown a little bit. And that should also help us get another double hit so we can see how big this king cabbage will actually be. This thing is actually crazy cool looking. This is probably one of the coolest looking plants in this game. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that this thing moves around and it looks like you're opening up a portal or something, that's pretty cool. Oh, I think we got our king cabbage here. It's literally gonna take up the entire plant. I'm not even gonna be able to see the plant anymore. That is a big one. All right, well, let's see how much progress our Triceratops makes on it. All right, our Triceratops is about to hit it. Maybe we'll get another double hit so we can see how much progress this makes. Let's see. 33 minutes. That was it? That was it? That didn't even make a dent in this thing. What the heck? All right, well, since that 33 minutes literally didn't do anything, I'm going to actually go ahead and use the grow all button here on my main account because I think we're going to be here for hours if we don't do this because this is such a big king cabbage. Oh my gosh, dude. This thing is humongous. It looks like a giant egg. All right, I'm going to really quick favorite it so I don't accidentally pick it up. We're going to go ahead and pick up all of our pets here. We're going to spawn in a queen bee to get her cooldown started with a butterfly here to get this cooldown started as well. So the queen bee will cool down the butterfly and the butterfly will convert all the mutations we're about to apply to this thing and convert it to rainbow. And then over here on my main account, we're also going to spawn in a queen bee over there and also spawn in our kitsune. So that way, whenever we get rainbow on this thing, we can apply chakra to it right away. Let's go ahead and apply some sprays so we can actually get this thing converted to rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and use a pollinated spray, shocked, chocolate. We will use honey glazed, and then I'll have my main account just apply a windstruck on it so we have a free extra mutation since we don't really need the windstruck spray since we have a pterodactyl. And there we go. We have our 5 mutations on here now, and our butterfly will convert all of these to rainbow, and then we can get started and actually apply other mutations to this so we can get the king cabbage to have every single mutation in the game. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and AFK and let our pets do the work to get this thing rainbow, and then we'll come back and start applying some mutations to it. All right, our queen bee just cooled down our butterfly, and now our butterfly just applied the rainbow mutation to our king cabbage. So now our king cabbage is officially rainbow. So we can pick up these 2 pets, and then we can go ahead and favorite this so we don't accidentally pick it up. Let's go ahead and apply some of our mutations back onto it now. So we're gonna put our pollinated back onto it, sprayed, burnt, chocolate, fried, and honey glazed. And then over here in our main account, we're going to apply wet onto it so that way this thing can easily get bloodlet from our kappas, or hopefully easily get it. We're going to apply cloud touched, and we're going to apply verdant, and then in a little bit our kitsune from our main account should come over and then apply chakra to this thing. So far that brings us up to 10 mutations on our king cabbage, so it's looking pretty good. And now we can start using some of our other pets to add some other mutations to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start spawning some pets in. So let's go ahead and start off by using 2 disco bees here so we can get disco done and out of the way. We'll go ahead and do 2 chicken zombies since this one usually takes a while. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and skip out on the cooked owl since we already have burnt and fried on this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a corrupted scarlet and a tranquil scarlet. Since those guys have those mutations on them, we'll be able to get corrupt and tranquil onto our king cabbage. And then since the spaghetti sloth actually takes quite a bit of time, I'm going to spawn him in now since he has 3 mutations he has to go through. And we do have the new aromatic mutation on him. So this guy has about 4 mutations we'll be able to get from him. So I'm going to spawn him in now to start making progress on all of those. And then finally, for right now, we're going to spawn in our Raiju. That way, this guy can work to apply the static mutation onto our king cabbage. And to do that, we're going to spawn in the Raiju. We're going to go ahead and put a carrot seed down. And then we're going to apply the shocked mutation to our carrot. And then our Raiju will come over here, eat the shocked carrot, and then apply static to our king cabbage for that extra mutations. So yeah, we have quite a lot of work to do today. We have a lot of mutations to get through. So these guys will be our starting mutations, and then we'll get some more mutations shortly. And hopefully we'll be able to get a sandstorm, aurora, and also maybe a celestial. All right, so our kitsune is on the way over here to apply chakra to our king cabbage. There we go. We have the chakra mutation now onto our king cabbage. Look at that thing. That thing is huge. He's gonna go bring it over to my main account now. So let's see. All right, we just got regular chakra. We did not get foxfire chakra, which is fine. All right, so we just got static applied to our king cabbage here. So we have another mutation done and out of the way. So we're good there. We do have wet applied to this, by the way. So next up, we're going to go ahead and pick up our Raiju. Oh, Disco B time. Hold on. Okay, failed. Anyways, we're going to pick up our Raiju here, and then we're going to replace him with a Kappa for now, so we can try and get Bloodlet done and out of the way before it is too late and we get this thing frozen by like a frost event or something. We do need the wet mutation to stay on this so we can convert wet to Bloodlet. I believe if this does get drenched, that can be converted as well, but once it's frozen, it's over. All right, here goes our first mutation from the Spaghetti Sloth. Let's see which one we get. All right, we got sauce stunts. Now we just need pasta and meatballs, but thank you, Spaghetti Sloth, for your service. I gave one of my chicken zombies here a toy to boost his cooldown, and instantly when I did that, his cooldown finished, and then he applied Zombified, so that is another mutation done and out of the way for our King Cabbage. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies here, and we're gonna replace those guys with these new lobster pets, because these guys actually have a chance to apply Molten every 15 minutes and then apply Meteoric every 30 minutes. So yeah, that's a pretty long cooldown. It is going to take quite a long time to maybe get Meteoric, but we're going to let them sit here and try to get us Meteoric, and Molten should be a pretty quick one though. But that'll be 2 new mutations we can get on our fruits like we used to be able to do when Brighter helped us with these videos. All right, perfect. We got Disco applied finally to our King Cabbage, so now we can go ahead and just pick up these 2 guys. So our Disco Bees are done and out of the way, and next we're going to go ahead and spawn in a Corrupted Kitsune, so we can get Corrupt Chakra and then turn that into Harmonized Chakra. And then I'm also going to spawn in a Pterodactyl here, so we can attempt to get Tempestuous done and added onto this. I'm going to go ahead and plant down 3 carrot seeds as well. If our pets apply mutations to these, that's fine. Either way, our Spinosaurus will eventually eat the carrots and move this over. Our first lobster, by the way, just failed with Molten, and our second one did. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and apply, I guess, I'll put down 3 carrots here, so we have more opportunity to get Tempestuous out of the way, and then we'll have the Spinosaurus eat it and move it over to our King Cabbage. All right, I'm going to attempt to give my Pterodactyl in here a toy, and also I'm going to give this lobster one. There we go, I got him. That way we could try to get Tempestuous a little bit faster. Let's see. Oh, okay, so he did apply Windstruck and Twisted to one of our carrots, and this is the one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up and pick this one up, and then Tempestuous is done. I don't think he applied it directly to our King Cabbage. No, we just got Windstruck, but that's fine. What we're going to go ahead and do now is pick up our Pterodactyl here, and then we're going to replace him with a Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus will eat the carrots, Tempestuous mutation, and then move it over to our King Cabbage, so we have that one done. Let's see if these guys will give us Molten and Meteoric. I don't know if they'll give us both, but we have 2 chances for both right now. Okay, failed Meteoric. What about our other friend here? He failed Molten, and we got Molten. All right, so we at least got one of them done. We got Molten added to our King Cabbage, but they did fail Meteoric, which was kind of expected. Let's see what our Spaghetti Sloth does. Hopefully he actually applies a mutation this time and doesn't bug out. There we go. We got Meatball added to the King Cabbage. So we just need that pasta mutation, and then this will turn into Spaghetti. Hopefully we'll be able to get Meteoric done soon. I will spawn in some Queen Bees shortly once our Spaghetti Sloth gives us all of his mutations. All right, I just gave our Spaghetti Sloth the toy, and he instantly gave us the Aromatic mutation from his mutated pet effect. So now we do have Aromatic added on to our King Cabbage for another mutation done, which is perfect. So once the Spaghetti Sloth here is done with his next cooldown, he should apply Pasta, and then we'll have this thing to have full spaghetti on it, which will be fantastic. All right, we have some good and bad news. The bad news is actually that this frost event spawned in, and yes, this will get us frozen because we do have wet applied, but we don't want to get frozen because we're still waiting for a Kappa to try and apply Bloodlet, although it's a very rare chance for him to. But the good news is that our Spaghetti Sloth is about to apply his final mutation, or hopefully he doesn't skimp out and just not give it to us. So our Spaghetti Sloth is doing his thing. Let's see if we get Pasta. Hopefully we do. Okay, interesting. He applied it to the carrot, which is actually fine. I'm going to go ahead and just pick him up then. And we're going to spawn in another Spinosaurus here. And that way they'll just eventually eat that off of this carrot and then move it over to our King Cabbage. Oh, and look at that. We're getting Acid Rain as well. I almost forgot that Acidic was a mutation that you can get as well. So this might be a good one. We can get this added onto our King Cabbage. All right, let's see. Did we get Acidic added onto this? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. What about this over here? Nope. All right, well, at least we got to experience the acid rain, but we did not get the acid rain. Okay, well, we've been trying to have our Kappa apply Bloodlet, and we have had no luck because, as you can see, it is not on here, but that wet mutation that we had just got turned to frozen from this frost event, so our Kappa ran out of time, and he's kind of useless now. So we're going to go ahead and pick him up, get him out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next pet here, which is the new junk bot from the Albert Stuff admin event. So the junk bot will actually have a chance to apply the oil mutation onto your plants. So we're going to let him attempt to apply the oil mutation next. All right, just like I expected, we have a nighttime event, which means we don't have to actually use our Tanukis today because this should give us pretty much instant moonlit mutation on our King Cabbage here. So let's just wait a second. Yep, there we go. Our King Cabbage is now officially moonlit, which is another mutation done. All right, so I'm going to feed some toys to my pets here. So we got a toy in our Corrupted Kitsune, hopefully get Corrupted Chakra. I'm going to feed some to my Spinosauruses so they eat from this and move over Pasta and Tempestuous, hopefully. Let's see. Yep, perfect. We just got Pasta and Tempestuous, the exact ones we needed. So we can go ahead and pick up this carrot, and then we can go ahead and get rid of these Spinosauruses for now. I guess in the meantime, then, I'm going to spawn in a Queen Bee to finally help us get some faster cooldowns on all of our pets here. We'll spawn in one of these Hot Dog Dash Hounds here, and these guys will actually help with cooldowns as well with the Queen Bee. All right, we just got a double trouble mutation set done to our King Cabbage. Both of our Scarlets finally just applied Corrupt and Tranquil onto our King Cabbage. So those are both done and out of the way. Finally, that took a couple hours there. But we can go ahead and pick both of these guys up now. So now it's pretty much just up to the Junk Bot to apply oil and these Lobsters to apply Meteoric and our Corrupt Kitsune to apply Corrupt Chakra onto this thing so we can have Harmonized Chakra. But they did make some good progress. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is spawn in another Hot Dog Dash Hound here to help with cooldowns, and then I guess we'll spawn in one Peacock as well. All right, we got some good news here. We got a heat wave event, but I guess this is also bad news because I literally can't get to the plant itself to put more tanning mirrors down inside of it. So hopefully it will hit still. I don't know. I guess we'll try and get as close as we can. Oh, okay, it just hit. We're good. We got it. Our King Cabbage is now Paradisal, which is a much better multiplier than just Verdant itself. Okay, as you saw there for just a second, this carrot is actually lit up, and it is finally Corrupt Chakra. Dude, we've been waiting for these mutations for such a long time. It's been hours, and we finally just got Corrupt Chakra. We have not gotten Meteoric or Oil yet, dude. We're still waiting for these. It is taking forever. But since we did get Corrupt Chakra, I'm going to go ahead and pick up these carrots. I had them laid out, so we had more chances for Corrupt Chakra since it was taking forever. And then I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus will eventually eat this Corrupt Chakra and then move that over to our King Cabbage for that mutation to be added on there so we can get Harmonized Chakra. All right, so hopefully our Spinosaurus only eats the Corrupt Chakra from this carrot. I didn't realize we got pollinated from our Queen Bee. I've only had the Queen Bee out for cooldowns, but here we go. Please just eat the Corrupt Chakra. I've been waiting hours to get that one. And he ate the pollinated and he just put it right back onto the carrot. What is going on, dude? What is wrong with the pets today? I don't understand. Yo, we finally got Meteoric added to the King Cabbage, which took a very, very long time. So I actually thought that we maxed out on stackable mutations because looking at the wiki, it says you can have up to 24 stackable mutations. I thought this thing was completely maxed out to the point we couldn't get any more mutations on it, but now I'm not very sure because we just got Meteoric from our Lobster added on to our King Cabbage. Okay, he just did the same thing and reapplied pollinated again. Okay. I guess instead of the Spinosaurus, we might as well try the T-Rex because our T-Rex will eat them and then spread them no matter what to multiple plants. I guess we can actually do like 2 T-Rexes and then maybe like 2 Spinosauruses just to guarantee that we can get Corrupt Chakra moved over. All right, our T-Rexes are about done with their cooldowns here. If they can't move this Corrupt Chakra over to our King Cabbage, then I've kind of given up hope that we are able to get any more mutations on this thing at this point because why is nothing going on to it anymore? So let's see if they actually eat and apply. Okay, there we go. We got Corrupt Chakra moved over finally, so this is good. We have Harmonized Chakra, so that is good. These guys are done with their business here, so I actually can just go ahead and pick up all these because that's all we needed. All right, and that is pretty good. Now, we pretty much just have to get oil done and added, but this junk bot has literally failed like 20, 30 times in the last however many hours I've been at this. I've been at this for almost 5 hours, dude. I give up on the oil, dude. My head is killing me, and I just can't keep going on listening to him say, grow a garden 5 million times. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick him up. I am gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 raptors to attempt to get the amber mutation. These guys have been aging quite nicely. They have a better chance now to get us amber. Not the best, but much better than they were at. And let's go ahead and take a look at our king cabbage here. So this thing is up to 22 mutations, but if we separate some of these, like tempestuous would have 23 mutations, spaghetti would make us at 25 mutations, paradisal would be 26 mutations, and then harmonized chakra would be at 27 mutations. So if we're able to get amber, would be at 28 mutations, and if we actually did get oil and some of those other mutations like aurora, sandy into ceramic, and celestial, we would be way past 30 mutations, and this thing would be worth even more. But this is a good stopping point, so we're gonna pick this up. Let's see if we get amber. Okay, we did not get amber. That's unfortunate, but we do have this gigantic king cabbage here, so I can only imagine this thing will be worth a lot of money. Hopefully we can get over 1 trillion, but I guess we'll see. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see the value of this thing with Steven, and hopefully we get some good money for it. So Steven, what would you give us for this big king cabbage today? All right, so this thing is worth 197 billion. I honestly expected a lot more than that just because of how many mutations we got on it and because of the size of this thing. But honestly, that's not bad. But for this many mutations, I feel like that should be buffed a little bit. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is this a good value for this big of a king cabbage with this many mutations, or should it be buffed and be worth more? I'm gonna go ahead and start off this, of course, with our moon cats here. Let's spawn in all 8 of these moon cats like we normally do. All right, we're good there. Let's go ahead and also get our sprinklers set up. We got our master sprinkler here. We got godly, advanced, and basic. And let's go ahead and put our elder strawberry down. All right, I brought my main account over here and I put this berry blusher sprinkler down. Dude, this thing is only at 1% grown. This is actually gonna take forever. All right, so our elder strawberry plant is now grown in. I went ahead and just skipped the growth process with some Robux here so we can start getting a fruit to grow in. All right, I'm gonna try to hit the grow all button again and just see if we get any big strawberries. Okay, we got a pretty decent sized elder strawberry right here. It's not as big as I was thinking it would be. And we got this one as well, but this one over here looks a little bit bigger. I think we could definitely get bigger. This is only 15 kilograms. I feel like this should be able to be a bigger size. So yeah, 3 of them, it looks like grow in at a time on each 3 of these branches. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just, we're gonna put some more sprinklers down here, let our moon cats do their thing. I'm also going to get another berry sprinkler put down on it. All right, we have another berry blusher sprinkler put down. I'm gonna see if this will help us get a bigger one with all these moon cats as well, trying to attack it with their abilities. All right, so I'm glad we waited a little bit because, yeah, this was our biggest strawberry a second ago. And then after some waiting and leaving the game, we're looking at these guys now that are so big and they're in the ground. I can't tell which one is the biggest one out of all of these. It's really difficult to tell. Okay, I think the gold one is bigger because looking at the stem, like the little green areas down here, the very bottom, this one goes across about 6 studs and this one looks like it is about 8 studs. So I think the gold one is definitely bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the gold one favorited for a second. We're gonna unfavorite this one and pick this one up. And yeah, I think the gold one's bigger. And also look at the stem on this thing, dude. It is so big and dug into the ground. I can't tell what's going on. It's so we're not even going to be able to see the strawberry until we're done. All right, well, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and unfavorite this. We're going to go ahead and add all of our sprays to it. So let's add shocked. Let's add pollinated, chocolate. We'll go ahead and add a cloud touch to it. And we need one more. The gold does not count towards rainbow. So we're going to go ahead and add a honey sprinkler down to get honey glazed. And now we should be good. Let me just run over here real quick. Yep, there we go. So now we have our 5 mutations that we can convert to rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up all of our moon cats here. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and spawn in a queen bee to get the cooldown reset for that. And then that will cool down a butterfly and convert this to rainbow because rainbow's a better multiplier than gold. All right, and then on our main account over here, we're going to spawn in a queen bee to also help with cooldowns for our Kitsune, so we can get chakra and hopefully foxfire chakra. And also we have a corrupted Kitsune as well. And then we can get this guy to give us corrupted chakra and corrupted foxfire chakra. So that should be a couple of more mutations added on from those guys once this turns rainbow, and we should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait the cooldowns out, and hopefully we'll get this done fast because the tranquil event or corrupt event should be happening in about 10 minutes, but we have to wait for our queen bee for about 18 minutes, so we might be cutting it close. All right, so it's about time for the fun stuff to happen. Our queen bee here is right about to cool down our butterfly so we can get our elder strawberry rainbow. All right, she's doing her thing. Now let's let our butterfly do her thing. All right, perfect. Butterfly is converting, and the butterfly just converted our elder strawberry to rainbow, so we're good there. So now we can go ahead and pick up these two pets here. We're done with that. We have our main account's kitsune coming over to apply chakra. It'd be nice if we can get foxfire chakra, but let's see what it does. And we can actually see how big the strawberry is now when it steals it. Let's see. Okay, it's pretty big. He just got stuck in the ground for a second. Okay, that's a good size. You can see it down there. It's a pretty big strawberry. All right, so we have chakra on here. We're about to get corrupt chakra in just a second, but until then, let's go ahead and apply our sprays back. So we got shocked, we're gonna go ahead and apply. We got cloud touch, we're gonna put pollinated back on that, and then we're gonna go ahead and put down a honey sprinkler there so we can get honey glazed back. Oh, and I almost forgot, I gotta do chocolate. I had a feeling I was missing one. There we go. We're missing our normal chilled and our normal amber that we normally add onto this, but we're going to be doing it a little bit differently, okay? So today, we're going to go ahead and spawn in a kappa here, or two of them. So our kappa will apply the wet mutation, then I'll attempt to turn wet into bloodlet, and then once we have that, that'll be out of the way. So let's go ahead, and these kappas will probably be here for a while making these nasty sounds, because they got to get us wet, then bloodlet, and then we got to use them again to get frozen, and then probably again to get clay if we get sandy. We're going to go ahead and spawn in our corrupted scarlet and our tranquil scarlet, so we can try to get verdant done on this thing, so we can work on getting verdant and then paradisal, and also tranquil and corrupted. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in two of our disco bees here. We're gonna spawn in, just for now, one chicken zombie and one cooked owl, just so we can try to get progress on both of those. I usually like to do two of each, but we have so many pets now that we gotta work with that I'm just gonna do one of each of those ones for now. All right, so actually the corrupted kitsune works differently, so I'm actually gonna give it to this account that I'm on right here. So the corrupted kitsune, I didn't realize that this was how it worked, actually has to be placed down in your garden. He has a 20% chance to apply the mutation corrupted chakra or foxfire corrupted chakra onto your plants, but it's only on your plants. It doesn't work like the regular kitsune where it comes over, steals, and applies it. It works by you actually have to place it down with your other pets for it to work. So because of that, I actually am going to go ahead and pick up one of these kappas for now. And that way we're going to place down this corrupted one so we can attempt to get corrupted chakra and corrupted foxfire chakra. There we go. Now we're set up though. We should be good to go for all these mutations. One of you guys hook us up, give us that disco mutation. Let me go ahead and delete this little strawberry up there as well. All right. Come on, target the big guy. Disco, let's go. Disco applied. All right, well, these two guys are good. I'm gonna go ahead and get them out of the way. I guess we'll go ahead and spawn in another kappa just so we can try to get bloodlet done and out of the way. We're gonna spawn in our pterodactyl here to try to get windstruck and twisted to give us tempestuous. This guy is a guaranteed windstruck chance, but he's not guaranteed for twisted. So we gotta hope that he'll give us both. Otherwise, we still have to wait for a tornado event. All right. There we go. All right, well, we only got Windstruck from our pterodactyl, but I can't complain because we haven't gotten anything from any of our other pets, but Windstruck is out of the way. I wish we did get Twisted, but since we did not get Twisted with that, this guy is pretty much done. I can't use him anymore. I just remembered that if I get any mutations on other plants, that I actually have a T-Rex, and I forgot that I have two T-Rexes now, so I could just let these guys eat the mutations off of certain plants and then let them spread. So I'm going to stop deleting the other Elder Strawberries because I completely forgot that these guys are in my inventory. I'm not used to having them. So in the meantime though, we're gonna keep waiting and hopefully we'll get some of these mutations done. All right, we have quite a lot of pets here that are about to finish their cooldowns, including our corrupted kitsune. So let's see if we can get corrupted chakra on our big strawberry here, or at least on one of these. As long as we get it on one of them, we can use the T-Rex later to move everything over. Let's see. Okay, the big one did get corrupt chakra on it. Ah, okay, so this is new. So if you get corrupt chakra and regular chakra, you get harmonized chakra. So now we have harmonized chakra on here. So I wonder if that works the same for tranquil and corrupt, if that does anything as well. Okay, we got verdant on one of our elder strawberries, but our big one did not get it. However, again, we can go ahead and use the T-Rex, and later that will convert some of these mutations around, and then it should spread everything around evenly, so we'll have all the mutations that we don't have on this. I guess in the meantime, since we did get corrupt chakra done, we can go ahead and pick this guy up, and let's replace him with a T-Rex. So we just need him to eat verdant, and then spread it to our big elder strawberry, and I think that's really the only one that this one has that our big one doesn't. All right, let's see. Bloodlet, please. Oh, bloodlet to 1. Okay, so we got bloodlet on this elder strawberry. We didn't get it on this one down here, but again, our T-Rex can help us out. Oh, and corruption has come to the garden. Okay, I guess we'll probably get corruption pretty quick. I'm gonna go ahead and trowel this back over here just in case any other events happen, like the celestial. All right, our big one is now corrupt as well. I guess what I'm going to go ahead and do then, since we have bloodlet and this one down here is wet already, I'm going to go ahead and convert that wet to frozen by using a chilled spray for my main account. All right, so now this one is frozen instead of wet because we don't really need the kappas anymore. So they should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up these kappas for now. Let's go ahead and also favorite this. We also don't really need the corrupted scarlet anymore. We only need tranquil. We already have verdant on one of our plants, and our T-Rex will hopefully help spread that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the corrupted one since he's kind of bugged out anyways. And with this, I'm going to spawn in another cooked owl just to help get us burnt. I don't believe any of our other strawberries have burnt. No, they don't. So we'll try and keep getting burnt with these guys. We have 2 chicken zombies, and we still have this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a tanuki now to work on this guy, to cause mischief and hopefully give us moonlit on our big elder strawberry. And then I'm also going to spawn in our other T-Rex that we have, so these guys can start spreading around mutations. Oh, we have a heat wave event. I gotta hurry. Let's do tanning mirrors. We need tanning mirrors. All right, so that should give us sun-dried, and then we can work on getting paradisal added over to our big elder strawberry. We actually might be able to use these T-Rexes to get sun-dried and stack it with paradisal. We'll see. All right, our T-Rex is doing something. Let's see what he spreads. Ah, okay, perfect. He spread the bloodlet mutation. That is the one we needed. Let's see if he did it to the right one. Bro, how did he spread it to 4 different strawberries, but we didn't get it on our main one? This doesn't make sense to me. All right, perfect. Cooked owl applied burnt directly to the correct elder strawberry. That's one less to worry about. That's added on. I'm going to go ahead and keep that favorited then. And then now I'm going to go ahead and pick up these cooked owls since they're out of the way. Let's spawn in another chicken zombie here. And then I'm also going to spawn in another tanuki so we can work on trying to get moonlit done. Okay, so I saw this new pet, the Raju, inside of the Zen shop that was added, but I actually didn't know that this guy will convert your shock mutation into static, or has a chance to. So I just gifted it to myself for my main account, and we need to use this guy to actually get the new static mutation. So let me go ahead and just check. He can convert anything that is shocked to static. I guess there's a lightning storm going on right now, but I'm going to go ahead and still spray one of these guys. I guess I'll spray this elder strawberry here. And then this guy can actually consume from fruits that aren't favorited. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is replace this with one of my chicken zombies that just finished their cooldowns. We'll put the Raju down, and then he will have a chance to devour fruit with shocked mutation. And then he will mutate 4 other fruits with static. All right, let's see. This guy's supposed to do his own little thunderstorm and give us static on everything. So let's see and hope that he actually does that for us. All right, looks like he's going in. He's running in there. He's eating. He's being fed. I had to pay him money, but we got static. Bro, I actually have to pay this man to spread my mutations. We got static added onto our elder strawberry. I can go ahead and pick you up now. And I guess we'll get that tanuki back in then to hopefully get moonlit done, bro. Wait. He ate the bloodlit fruit completely. Are you kidding me? I didn't know he's gonna actually consume the entire fruit. I thought he just consumed the mutation like the T-Rex does. I would have not put it on the bloodlit one if I knew that was the case. I guess if that's the case, then we're gonna replace this guy again with another kappa to hopefully give us the bloodlet mutation back, and hopefully maybe this time on the correct plant. I actually did not know that the other guy was going to eat the entire fruit. He ate the fruit, he ran my pockets, and he took my bloodlet mutation away. All right, this is good. We have a sandstorm coming through, although I can't see it at the bottom of the screen. It's not showing, so hopefully this one isn't a bug sandstorm. I guess I'll try and trowel this over here real quick and see if we can get sandy in this corner. Usually this corner... Actually, no. This is the good corner right here. Let's see if this corner does it for us. See if we get sandy mutation on anything. All right, we get it on anything. That's not sandy. That doesn't look sandy. What about our favorited one? No Sandy. All right. Well, our luck for Sandstorm is still as bad as it always is. Okay, good things are starting to happen. We just had 2 of our Scarlets applied Verdant to our Elder Strawberries, and one of them was actually our big guy here. So we finally have Paradisal, and we also have a Twisted Tornado event going on. So we got to be quick and make sure we can move this thing over to the tornadoes and get Twisted on it so we can get Tempestuous. Dude, these tornadoes are actually spawning all down there, not near us over here. Come on. Oh, here we go. One's right here. Why are you turning? No, this way, this way, this way. Hey, go, no, go this way. Go behind you, go behind you. Please, before the event ends, please. I think we're gonna miss this. We just... All right, since we haven't had luck with these T-Rexes spreading the correct mutations that we want, although the T-Rexes are very good because they'll take 1 mutation and spread it to all your fruits, I think we're gonna need to use something more like the Spinosaurus, because this guy will eat 3 mutations and spread it to 1 fruit, usually targeting your favorited fruits. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our T-Rexes and put down 2 of these Spinosauruses, and this should actually help us. Should help us get zombified, moved over to our big favorited Elder Strawberry. All right. So perfect timing. We just got the Zen Aura event, so now we can get Tranquil, which we just did on our big Elder Strawberry. Finally, we're still waiting for these guys to transfer the zombified over, and we're still waiting for these guys to give us Bloodlet again, but none of that is actually happening. But the other thing is we have another tornado event, so we can try to get our Twisted to turn into Tempestuous. Oh yes, like this. Perfect. All right, let's just keep it right here, please. Don't leave too fast. Oh, here's another one right here. Perfect. And he's leaving. Why are you leaving? Don't leave me. Oh wait, this one likes me. He spawned right on top of that. Wait, but don't leave. Don't leave. Turn back around. Hold on. Don't leave. All right, here's another one. This one likes me. Stay. Stay put. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Okay, we got Tempestuous on this one. Did we get it on our big one? Let's see. No, we didn't get on the big one, but we did get it on one of them. So maybe these guys will be nice enough to move it over for me. Let me go ahead and move this back. What did he eat? Finally, he ate Zombified. Finally, we got Zombified moved over. All right, now all you got to do is eat Tempestuous. That literally took so long. Okay, I literally just missed it on footage, but our Manukis, after like 4 hours since they've been spawned in, they finally applied Moonlit, and they applied it to the correct plant. So we have Moonlit now on our Elder Strawberry. That took a very long time. In total, though, this thing is looking good, and we have 18 mutations on it, and if we actually spread out Paradisal and Harmonized Chakra, we'd have about 20 mutations on it. All right, so all of our pets here have been hard at work moving over our mutations to our big guy here, and actually on this fruit right here, we only have Gold, Tempestuous, Tranquil, and Chakra on it. At this point, we have 2 T-Rexes and 2 Spinosauruses, and they will all eat at least 1 mutation and spread it. We do have this Elder Strawberry in the way, though, with Corrupt and Pollinated, just to make sure they don't eat this one and they only take from this one, so we can get that Tempestuous added over. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up. So all of our guys will actually ignore Gold here, and they won't eat the gold, so they should only target... Oh, and the first guy targeted Tempestuous, so we're actually good. I was gonna say they should only target the 4 mutations: Tempestuous, Tranquil, Chakra, and Wet. This guy down here has a total of 17 mutations on it. Earlier, I think I said 18, but there's actually 17, and then if you spread out Harmonized Chakra and Paradisal, that would be 19 mutations total. And I guess if you spread out Tempestuous, then that would be 21 mutations. I would wait around because we really only need Bloodlet, Celestial, and Aurora as our last 3 legit mutations. All the other ones would just be considered admin mutations. But I've been waiting around and doing this for like 6 hours, so I think we're at a good stopping point, and we have way more mutations now with this new update than we normally do. So let's go ahead and pick this guy up. And I can't even see the size of it, but it is definitely a lot bigger than our other ones, and it looks crazy with all of these mutations on it. But anyways, without further ado, we're going to talk to Steven here, check the value of our mutated Elder Strawberry, and see how much money this thing will make us. So Steven, what are we looking at today, buddy? Oh my gosh, dude, this thing is only worth 43 billion. That is insane. I thought this would have a way better value to it with all of these mutations added onto it. I think it would if the size was even bigger than this. I think our size for this thing wasn't as good as it could have been. For this thing being nearly 1,000 Robux and probably, I don't even know, 75 to 100 million in-game cash. For 43 billion return from sitting here for 6 hours and doing all the mutations, honestly, this is the first fruit that I felt like that was a very unfair value. And it could just be the fact that the multiplier for the size isn't that good because it's not that big of a strawberry. But I feel like this thing definitely needs a buff. And I think I've heard a couple of other people complain about the new fruits that they added with this update needing a buff. But let me know if I'm crazy, and if you guys disagree with me, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, that was the Elder Strawberry.